feeling good after those bites of food.
Not hangry?
Not hangry.
Not gonna chew Kevin out or something?
Yeah. He comes on and I just automatically have beef with him. He's like, "Whoa." But, like, also could happen.
That's
Look,
crazy.
or I won't go in the cut. Just kidding. Um, no, I don't think I would have beef with a guest.
No.
But I just, like, actually was like, "Oh my god, I have to get a couple bites of food or I will
Food.
be not okay."
Yeah. Yeah, Courtney is dealing with some, uh, power issues, possibly. The
Yeah,
weather in New York is insane. It's just crazy.
I know I'm
Um,
honestly nervous that I'm gonna lose power, but we'll see.
it seems
There's,
to be
like
okay right now, but
yeah, it seems fine, but, like, I told you when I came home, the time was off on the microwave, so I was like, I think we must have lost power." And then I'm, like, looking this up before I say this, but one sec. When you I like how you can hear my that's some ASMR right there. Okay, so I knew this was a thing. It's like an old, like, folklore kinda thing, but an old rancher told me this, and when you
Okay.
pass a field and all the cows are, like, laying down, like, in the middle of the day, it's a sign that there's bad weather coming. And I was driving home, and I was, like, passing the fields, and all the cows were laying down, and I was like, "Oh, the storms are brewing, it's coming in." And then, yeah, the microwave was like the time was off, I was like, "Uh-oh, hopefully I don't lose power," but the cows are telling me I might.
Interesting. Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah, but we'll see. Ow.
Yeah, and then here it's like 100 degrees outside. There's
Ew,
wildflower. What?
yeah, out your window looks disgusting.
Oh yeah, it's like yellow. It's like there's wildfires in Canada, so the air quality is terrible. It's 100 degrees out. It's humid, and then it started raining on top of that. And it's
Ugh.
I walked outside and I was like, this actually might be the grossest weather I've ever been in.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty, actually.
And I look
That's
at my
what I'm
window and there's people
concerned.
eating outside. I'm like, what are we
No.
doing?
No, no, no. I'm concerned that we're gonna get some pretty bad fires because with the lightning, like, it starts so many wildfires, and that's what they're saying is gonna happen.
It's hot.
It's so hot, like, gross hot. I feel like I finally, like, have been feeling what you've been feeling. And, like, just, like, the humidity is, like, gross. Like, I go outside
Oh,
and I feel
it's humid there?
yeah, it has been for, like, I guess this is, like, day 3 or something, so not that long, but it just, like, feels so gross. I'm like, I don't
Mm.
but, I mean, the humidity is still probably, like, nothing compared to what it is there.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like feeling sticky. I love the warm weather, but, like, this is warm weather that I don't wanna go hang out in. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
not it. Don't like it.
Oh man,
No thanks.
it's the worst.
It is worst.
I'm trying to think of like what we can talk about right now until
I know, well, I was just thinking in my head, I was like, "Dang, like, I don't have any, like, beef," because, I mean, it's only been, like, a couple days, so
No, you mean no, it's the next week, it's been a week.
well, actually, I mean, everyone knows because we, like, said it on the last pod, but, like, I was thinking about it, I was like, "This is gonna be kinda nice, because then we're gonna be a week ahead." So does that
Well,
mean we get a week off?
technically, we're not a week ahead. Technically, I realize that this recording is for this week, and the one we just uploaded, it was for last week, so technically we're not ahead. We're ahead for this week, but we're not a week ahead.
Right,
We were technically behind, and now we're, like, right. We're
right.
like, we've been behind, and we're, like, now caught up.
No. I literally in my head, I was like, "Yeah, like, okay, we're like, we get a week off," is what I was, like, telling myself. I guess not.
I mean, hey, we could be recording multiple times a week, and then we could get a week ahead if you wanted.
Well, we're gonna have to because I have some travel coming up, so
Hmm, interesting.
it was already approved.
I don't remember approving that. I don't think I got
Mm.
the email asking for that time off, but,
No, it's approved, it's approved.
hmm, interesting, okay.
But, yeah, like, I won't even be in the country for, like, 2 weeks, so we're gonna have to
Interesting, okay. Noted. No, I'll have to get, like, a guest on as well then maybe.
yeah. I was thinking about it today, and I wonder if, like, by posting these clips and having a guest on, like, I wonder if it'll trigger, like, someone else to, like
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, "Man, this could be like a 'cause and I talked to Kevin last night for a little bit, and we were kinda like, "Oh, yeah, you gotta support one another," you know?
Mhm,
Um, and, like, obviously, they made a feature film, and they have all these other films, and he sees us with a podcast, but not, like, a big, huge following or anything like that, so it's like, "You gotta support one another," and I was like, "Hell
mhm.
yeah, I really appreciate that," so, hey, you never know.
I know, I was kinda like I mean, did we even talk about how this, like, happened? Like, I feel like we didn't.
I talked to him about it last night a little bit, but, I mean, if it comes up, we can talk about or, like, you can ask about that, because obviously I asked him, but
No, I'm like, "Okay, I feel like you just in one ear, out the other, let me tell you what I'm thinking," is what just happened.
wait, what do you mean?
I was asked oh my god, my cats are fighting, one sec.
What the mark that.
I think they're done fighting. That was crazy. No, but what I was saying is, like, did we talk about it on the pod of, like, how we got introduced to Kevin? Like,
No.
should we, like we could talk about that, like, we could,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's because like, he reached out to us, so I was like, "Oh, that could be" he could maybe talk about that if he wanted, but or we can talk about it either way.
Oh my god, okay, well, let's move on because clearly we're not gonna talk about it.
I mean, it's I don't know. Um, yeah, whatever. But I have a bone to that's start every episode like that,
No, I was thinking about that too, I was like, "Damn, on Second String Experts, it's literally just me, like, the first 5 minutes, like,
complaining.
no, like, being so mad at you and Justin, and then, like, nothing."
I will say, took you a while to respond to my text
Bro, like, I'm just busy. You did, like, low key annoy me because I just, like,
when I
felt
emphasized it.
yes, I just, like, felt it, like, because I texted Tom back because you like, in the group chat, and then I just, like, ding, and I, like, looked, and I was like, "Mm," like, it just made me mad, and, like, part of me wanted to just not respond still because
Oh, I would be so pissed.
I was like, "Oh, I'll show you." But then I was like, "You know what? I don't even wanna deal with that right now, I'm just gonna respond and say,
Because it's
okay."
also it was also we were trying to schedule stuff with our guest, so I was like, "I need you to respond."
No, I
And
understand
so then
that.
when you responded to Tom, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give it a few minutes."
No, you did not! It
I
was
ga
not
I
a
ga
few minutes, it was
I
like
gave
30
you
seconds.
no, it was not. I gave you a few minutes.
Dead ass, it was 30 seconds.
No, it wasn't. At 1:51, you texted, and then I
You
emphasized.
have timestamps?
Well, I mean, when I just look at the text, it just
Oh,
says, like, when you texted, it said 1:51 is when you texted, and then I emphasized it a little bit afterwards.
a little bit afterwards, it was, like, the same time. Anyways, it did, like, irk me.
Okay, it was probably, like, 3 minutes, but
30 minutes after?
3 minutes.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because then
It
you
was, like,
responded.
30 seconds. No, because I responded, like, minutes later after I was debating responding or not because it, like,
Well, that
irked me.
minute or 2 minute I was waiting felt like a lot longer because I was like, "Okay, I guess let's
It's
see if
because
she'll
you were
respond."
annoyed, you were like, "Really?"
Well, I was, like, at lunch, and then my phone was on do not disturb, though, so I just kept, like, bringing the thing down to see if you had responded, and I just kept saying, like, "Your last text to Tom."
I just I feel like I need to, like, have a way that, like, I'm, like, incognito, so you can't tell when I'm on my phone or not.
Well, just don't respond to other things then.
I forgot.
And I had sent you, like, a lot of
I
texts too.
know, I know,
I
I
I
know.
was like, "Oh, she's gonna get out of work. tonight or, like, last night and just see all these texts and get annoyed.
which is, like, exactly what happened, and then I just
Yeah.
didn't respond, and then
Yeah, I didn't really expect you to respond last night, even though, it wasn't that late, but
I think that's my problem, though, is I'll, like, see the text, I, like, won't open it, but, like, it won't be in my, like, notifications anymore. That's why I responded to Tom because, like, I was, like, on my phone and it was, like it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm,
Mhm.
like, on my phone right now." And then I, like, kinda forgot about it, and then when I got the ding, I was like, "Ugh, you're annoying."
God. Um,
But it's fine. I don't honestly, though, it didn't, like, make me that mad.
enough to talk about it.
You brought it up.
Mhm. Likely.
There, bud. What if I called you bud?
Buddy,
Do you think bud is, like, a demeaning term to guys? "Hey,
in
bud.
some cases, it can be.
Hey, bud.
Because it just, like it sounds like a dad talking to, like, a son, like, "Hey, what's up, bud? Hey, buddy."
Hey, buddy.
But,
Hey, bud."
yeah. I remember, like, Jimmy Fallon got flack because he called, like, Ariana Grande bud, like, "Hey, what's up, bud? Like, how are you doing?" And people were like, "Yo, what?" And I was like, "Who cares?"
I feel like it's, like, not that deep.
Yeah. I guess, like, we can say at least welcome back to Overshared episode 33, just so
That's what
people
I was
know
gonna say.
what episode we're on.
What
Um,
episode are we on, Seb? They don't know.
3.
They don't know.
-1 divided by 2, -2 plus 1 is 6. I just
Yeah,
la
like,
I just
I was
listened to
like
that today, and you're like, "Wow, that's impressive math."
yeah, I am really bad at math, so never ask me a math question. I will be wrong.
What's 75 divided by 2?
Like, I just said, "Never ask me a
No,
math
just
question."
kidding.
I will be wrong. Not gonna
What's
answer.
5 times 6 plus 8 divided by 3? 5,
Too
6,
much.
8, 3 equals love.
Aw, love. I wish we could, like, speak in code like that. It'd be kinda
We
fun.
could.
That's so many numbers, though. Like, my head would just be like
I
it
mean,
would be
yeah,
like the
it would take
SpongeBob
time.
meme where, like, their filing cabinets are on fire. It would just be like, "Ah!" That would be my head.
It would definitely take some time, that's for sure.
I've always thought it would be cool, though, to, like, have, like, friends and, like, have your own language. So, like, when you're out in public, you can just, like, start talking
Yeah.
mad.
I mean, it'd be fun just to be able to, like, speak another language that most people don't have or speak, or you're just around people that don't speak that language, but, like, you and your friend do.
Yeah. Low key, recently, I've been thinking about taking up Duolingo and learning a language.
Oh, hell yeah. You should.
I feel like it'd be kinda fun. I just, like, was really bad at it in school, but, like, I was just, like, a bad student, like, I was a delinquent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Well,
you're not supposed to agree with that.
were you a delinquent, or were you just bad at school, or is that, like, considered the same? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I was, like, a mix. I
Mhm.
wasn't, like, a hardcore delinquent, like, I wasn't, like, being super, super bad, but
You were out there, like, doing drugs and, like
yeah.
yeah, I mean, you weren't, like yeah, I don't know. Can't go back now?
I feel like I was doing what, like, a lot of teenagers do.
Your life was like Euphoria, basically.
No, 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 no. It was not, but I just yeah, I feel like I was doing what, like, a lot of teenagers do, and, like, that was just I don't know, but I feel like part of me wishes that I would've, like, taken, I guess, some of it more seriously because I feel like l knowing a language would be really fun, another language,
Yeah, that's true. Because I took so much Spanish and French, and I don't know anything.
right? Like, we
Very
we were
disappointing.
literally just doing it to, like, pass the class, graduate.
100%. You don't, like, see the value until you're actually
After
doing it,
yeah,
living your life later on.
I know. Traveling the world, and I'm like, "Dang, it'd be really
Mhm.
nice to know another language."
Yeah. I mean,
I
speaking
was
of
what?
no, go.
Well, I was talking to my friend, and he's Chinese, and he can speak Chinese, like Mandarin Chinese, and he was, like, saying how in different parts of China, like, they still do speak English, and then we were just, like, went down this whole rabbit hole of, like, how English is, like, kind of like the universal language, like, it's not like obviously, not every country speaks it, like but there are usually people that do speak it, and we were
Mhm.
just talking about it, and I was like, "I wonder how that, like, came about, like, how did they, like how did places decide, like, English
Yeah.
is the universal language?"
I don't know. It is interesting that, like, so many countries will have signs that also have English and then their, like, native language as well. So, I don't know why that is. Not all countries, but a lot.
Well, and then it, like, makes me feel bad because I'm like,
Yeah.
we don't have like, a lot of people, like, speak Spanish, but we don't have, like I don't know, I feel like in a lot of other countries, a lot more people know English, like, whereas, like, you could come to, like, a restaurant here, for example, and no one will speak Spanish
Mhm.
or French or Chin like, I don't know, there's just, like it doesn't go back and forth, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
I might learn a language. What language should I learn, everyone?
Spanish or Chinese.
I was kinda thinking French.
It's not, like, the most useful.
True.
Kevin should be getting on pretty soon here. Hopefully he doesn't have any technical difficulties. I kind of explained that to him, but, hopefully we'll be good
Maybe
on that
Kevin will
front.
pull me and, like, show up in, like, 20 minutes and be like, "Hey, sorry." I'm like, "That's my guy, let's go."
It's like,
I'm
yeah, we had, like, a there was, like, 5 minutes before the call, but I thought I could just run to the store real quick. It's like, what?
literally me, though, before this call, it was, like, 4 o'clock. I, like, had to run out, feed the animals, I had to, like, change, make some food, do the dishes. I was, like, speed like, I was so good, I was so speedy.
I know there's been times where I've, like, tried to push it as well, and I'm like, "I don't know why I went to the store 20 minutes before we record."
Yeah. No, usually mine's like I'm at the store with our groceries for the week, and it's, like we're recording at, like, 4:30, and I'm, like, in the checkout line at, like, 4:20, I'm like, "What?" Like,
Like, why did I
like,
think
obviously, I'm not gonna make it there on time. It's fine. Should we do our, like I feel like you're just, like, not really with it. I feel like you're just, like, so focused on, like, what you're gonna say right now.
Yeah, 100%.
But should we do our, like, like,
He comes in right when we're doing that.
we're like maybe he'd appreciate it.
I'm just thinking like, "Oh, man," like, maybe I'm getting nervous, I don't know, because it's like
I
a
know,
first
I
real
feel
guest,
like
you know?
I was the nervous one, like, 2 days ago, and now you're like you're, like, choked up, all
Well,
nervous.
because I've been, like, thinking about, like, Sean Evans from Hot Ones, and I'm, like, trying to, like, put on that kind of performance of an interview, and I think that's an unfair thing to compare it to.
That is unfair.
Kevin! Yes, it's
Hello.
perfect. How are you?
Good, good. Are you getting any feedback at all?
Yeah, no, we're good, we can hear you perfectly, there's nothing wrong.
Okay, and you can't okay, because I
Yeah.
had some issues with, like, choosing the microphone, and it's, like, sound through the microphone, and it cuts out, and I don't wanna be plugging and unplugging away, so
Yeah, no, we deal with a lot of technical difficulties, and currently, Courtney's dealing with a lot of weather issues, so we're, like, praying that she doesn't lose power.
Right,
Yeah. No, I literally texted Seb, like, 15 minutes before, I was like, "I might lose power," and he was like, "Are you kidding me?"
right.
That's out of my control.
Try not to yell at her.
Yeah.
No worries. I don't yell.
Wait, I like your background, what's going on here?
Oh, an old Christmas gift from the family, saying the Shepherd's Movie Theater. And then we have the
Oh,
5683,
yeah.
autographed poster from when we did our backers rewards. It was one of the Kickstarter rewards was to get it seen in the theater before anybody else, and
Mhm.
so, while we were there, everybody that showed up, that was cast and crew and, were a part of it, they all signed it, and so I have a copy and Century Films has a copy, so we had 2
That's
posters out there, and
awesome.
they were all just signing away.
That's
That's
so fun.
awesome. I know I have some movie posters right here, and, like, my goal is just to have as many movie posters as possible, just of everything I've ever, like, hopefully worked on someday, and then also just what I love.
Right. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And then We have Shut the Box right here, which was our short film that we did,
Mhm.
and then an all-time classic of The Monster Squad over there, so
Monster Squad. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that actually.
that's an oldie but goodie. That's an oldie but
Man,
goodie. Yeah.
man.
If my references don't age me in this interview, my beard certainly does, so
That's
That's so
awesome.
funny.
Oh, well, we can get into it. So our guest today, he wears just about every hat in filmmaking. He's a writer, producer, assistant director, actor. He's a crew member, and you've even helped out with craft services on set. You have an extensive list on IMDb credits spanning from comedy, mystery, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, and even drama. And you've built an impressive and diverse career in independent film with credits including Alien, Lost in Transmission, Inheritance, and 5683, the romantic comedy that we're going to be discussing today, which is also available now on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Fandango, Zumo Play, and YouTube. So please join us in welcoming Kevin Shepard to Overshared. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us.
hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having
Woo!
me on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious, I know you've done some interviews, but have you done like a podcast and anything like that? I see that you have the mic and everything. So,
Yeah, I haven't really done too many podcasts as a guest. Back
mhm.
in the day, we used to do podcasts and things like that
Awesome.
through Mediaverse. Now, every now and then, we'll have people on. At one point, I had to fill in as an interviewer for one of our guests on the podcast that they were doing. Had no plan on doing it. I was going to go out there and just kind of help them set things up. And on my way driving, they're like, "Yeah, you're going to be asking the questions," and I was
By
like,
the way,
like yeah, minutes before. So no, I just recently this is like the second podcast that I've been on to discuss 5683. But it is the first a Zoom Riverside type podcast.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. We're very excited to talk about this movie. So, I mean, we can kind of just get into it, but I mean, I'd love to get to know more about you, and I think our viewers would love to get to know more about you as well. I know
sure.
you kind of have a pretty extensive history as well in the film industry as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, ask away. I can start off like where we got started, how it all began, which is kind of a fun story in itself, but
Yes.
whatever you guys want to do.
Yes, I'd love to hear how everything began because I know from a kid you obviously you loved movies and TV shows and that kind of helped shape you, but then you went the writing route versus,
Mm,
like, the acting, like, at least in first go, at least.
right.
So I'm curious kinda where that stemmed from and what the childhood was like up until now.
Sure. So I mean, my childhood itself, the TV was my babysitter. I always say, like Freddy Krueger was my daycare provider because I grew up like I would go to school, I would walk home, and I would watch those movies. Like I would just like that was a thing. That and Fright Night. I was a huge horror kid, and
Wow.
then as I grew up, I was just kind of taught to be practical. Like you got to get the 9 to 5, and then you got to get a manager
Mm.
spot, and then you gotta. And so I was doing all that, and then when I was at my corporate 9 to 5, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we both love movies, we both love TV. We were watching Sons of Anarchy religiously, and then it was leading up to the final season of that show. I was telling him ideas that I had for them to go in the final season. Now, Kurt Sutter is an amazing writer. I have no grounds near what he's doing, and it was funny because after every episode, my friend would come to work and be like, "Well, if they still change this and this, they could still do your ideas." And as the season kept going, it got further and further away from my ideas, but
Mm.
he kept trying to find a way for it to work. And when the finale hit, he came into work that day and he said, "Don't talk to me. I'm upset with you." Because he thought that my idea was better than the way it actually ended. And
Wow.
now my idea was a little bit more commercial, so it does kind of play to the audience a little bit more.
Mhm.
For Kurt Sutter, he knew where that show was going when he started it, like minor
Yeah.
changes along the way, but he knew what he was doing. And then we also both really enjoyed We're the Millers, with Jason
Such a funny
Sudeikis,
movie. I love that
right?
movie.
And so we watched it, we loved it, we talked about it all the time. And then after the Sons of Anarchy thing, I told him about an idea for a fun scene if they ever do a sequel. And he told me to shut up and write it. He said
Oh,
he doesn't wanna
wow.
hear me talk about it anymore, he wants me to write the sequel to We're the Millers, And I'm like, "I don't even know the first thing to do." And he's like, "Well, then I guess I won't hear anything then, huh?" And it was like his little way of telling me, "I finally got you to shut
Challenging you,
up."
yeah.
But I went home and I didn't know the first thing about screenwriting. I got
Mhm,
on and I Google searched as much as I could. I knew there was software out there. At that time, there really wasn't much that was free. And so
mhm,
then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to dive in. What are the margins? And I put
mhm.
a Word document together and I was using the proper margins off of Word. And within 2 months, I had a full sequel to We're the Millers. It's titled
Wow.
We're Still the Millers. It's
That
about yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
title.
it's about 90 minutes or 90 pages because 1 page
Mhm,
per minute, and it has all the traditional sequel things, all the callbacks, all the references, characters where you wouldn't expect to see them, but they come
mhm.
back for, a cameo or whatnot.
Oh, man.
And I was so naive at the time, um I called Jennifer Aniston's representation, and I said, "I'm an independent screenwriter, and I have a great script for her to read. It's a sequel to, We're the Millers." And their first question was, "Who are you? Is it fully funded? Are all of her minimums being met?" And I'm like, "I don't know what
Man.
any of this means. I don't know what you're talking about." So, yeah, and then it just kinda stemmed from there. I just started doing, like, other, just other, like, passion projects, ideas that I
Mhm.
had, and it stems, like, off the website, DoJoLoFilms.com. I mean, there's a whole trilogy of a young adult survivalist zombie. So,
Mhm,
zombie series. So, like, I wrote
mhm.
3 feature films. They're ready to go.
Wow.
We just need the financing, and, like, a handful of people have read it. It would just take way too much cost from a production standpoint to
Yeah.
get anything like that done. I've thought about, do I look into doing graphic novels, kind of the Walking Dead route, and just kind of
Mhm.
get information that way and maybe potential funding or investors or whatever, but yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff, but that's essentially where it started. And so I think with me and my creative team, I think we're going to do a table read. So it'll be a fan fiction table read of
Okay.
equal to We're the Millers, and then go from there. Because of course it's based on their property, so it's like you give them 100% props. This is just fan
Mhm.
fiction. This is a fan film. So, and there is a market for that too. So I mean, maybe there'll be enough people that'll be interested in watching it.
I love that it was the We're the Millers too, 'cause that's such a funny comedy movie, and honestly, there hasn't been a lot of great comedies, like,
Hmm.
since that movie, it feels like, 'cause
Right.
it felt like that was a little raunchy in
Mhm.
a sense, and there's not a lot out there like that, I feel like.
Right.
So that was awesome. It's, oh my god, what was my question? Courtney. Okay,
I
oh
can't
my
read your
god.
mind, so
I
I
know,
don't
This
know.
happens a lot, huh?
this is the problem that
Yeah.
we run into, that Courtney can't read my mind, what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
and then,
Right.
Oh,
like,
okay,
suddenly
oh,
I'm the bad one, I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
well, so I was gonna ask, so obviously you started writing, and I felt like in a sense your friend asking you and challenging you is almost like validating you in a sense, but
Mhm.
did you ever have like thoughts or inspirations of being like in acting or being an actor or a director, or was that like you found your love in writing because of this situation?
Yeah, I really truly did find my love in writing. I mean, I just love how you can just take a general idea, a simple what if,
Yeah.
and then everything stems from that. And then you have your early setups that lead to those payoffs, and then everything works, everything is in line.
Mhm.
And also being a little bit flexible because certain things might not happen that way, or in production it might change. But yeah, I found love for writing, and again, too, me and him, we had this process where I would write 15 pages and I would get them to him, and then I
Mhm.
would continue to write the next 15 pages while he read those 15, and then he would get them back to me. I would give him the new 15. I would implement his notes and then
Yeah.
make the necessary changes on the next 15, and then have that going forward into the story.
That's such a good way to collaborate. That way you're not
Yeah.
getting stuck in your own way in a sense too.
Right. Yeah. No, it worked out great for us. And like he's read every single word I've put to paper. Yeah.
Wow.
He's never left. He's always here. And he's like, let me read it. Send it my way. So, yeah, and especially I mean, so there are sometimes he's read it more than once because, like, with 5683, he loved that movie so much that he read so many different drafts because as I grew as a screenwriter, I would go back when I would learn new techniques and things, I would go back and re-edit my other projects to this way
Mhm,
they would grow with me and I wouldn't outgrow them,
mhm.
and then something's always available, right?
Yeah. Man, I the whole writing process is so intimidating to me. Like, the even you saying I wrote 15 pages is crazy because 'cause I've, like, written small scenes, but it's nothing compared to I mean, this is something that I feel like a lot of people end up saying, but to even make a movie or feature film is crazy. The fact that you can even get that done is
Mhm.
beyond wild. Because I
Yeah,
mean, movies get stuck for 20 years before they actually can, like, you the director gets a payout or is able to produce a movie.
right.
So to I mean, it's just impressed. I'm always just impressed when people can write.
Right. Well, and you be impressed with yourself. You said you wrote a couple scenes. Even if it's one scene, you
Mhm,
have something. Because when it comes to writing, you have to just write. You have to trust the process. You have to dive in. You have to get it on paper. If it's not
mhm,
on paper, you have nothing. But once it's on paper, then you go over it again and again and again, and you rewrite it, and you fine tune it. And then you find those little things. And in the process, you continue to learn and you continue to grow because there's a
mhm.
lot of people out there that get so intimidated by writing in particular that
Yeah.
they're always looking for more things to learn and
Mhm.
they never do. You have to do. Once you do, you
Yep,
can learn all you want, but
yep.
do it first. So even if it's out of format, even if it's just, whatever, you did it, you got it. So you started. So that's huge. I mean, so few people start,
Mhm.
and then, they gotta stick with it. So stick with it, get through it. You're gonna do great. I mean, it's gonna be so much fun because everybody has a unique voice that
Mhm.
needs to be heard. And that's just kind of where it's at. So,
Yeah, I think understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect the first
mhm,
time or whatever you put, I think that's the biggest thing because I think that's what gets in people's heads a lot of times, and being able to understand that you can keep working at it, and the fact that you guys are going back and forth every 15 pages and
mhm.
re-editing things is such a great process.
Right. I even had this comment with I was just recently on set where we were helping another group this
Mhm.
weekend and we were just kind of talking about the process. And I said, honestly, there are some drafts when I'm going through, especially my first draft, and it will stay there for like second or third draft,
Uh-huh.
where somebody in the script is supposed to say something witty. I don't know what it is. So their dialogue in those early versions are something witty.
Mm.
That's
That's it, and there were times that, like, it went out to friends of mine to read, and they're like, "This doesn't make sense. Why would somebody just say something witty?" And I was like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't go in and edit that part." So then I started putting asterisks next to that, so
Uh-huh.
that I can search the document for asterisks and then go through and make all those little changes so nothing sneaks out anymore.
Yeah,
But yeah,
wow.
just some of the basic stuff, you can always go back and change it.
So how many? Because I know you kinda gave yourself, like, a 10-year window, and
Mhm.
then when you started DoJoLo Films, and then I know 6 years in, you guys were then created 5683, but what was did you have, like, a moment where you were like, "Oh, I can actually do this?"
To be honest, it wasn't until Century Films responded to me and Michael Huntington from Century Films had
Mhm.
an amazing meeting. Because again, I'm just writing this stuff, and so I'm doing
Yeah.
basic research, and, at the time, it was quoted, and I don't mean to be like I don't know if this is a word you can say anymore or not. They refer to it as a hobo copyright. It's where you
Okay.
take a final version of your product or your script and all the material you use to come up with that, and you mail it to yourself. Because it's going through federal hands. It's
Mhm.
going through so if you can't pay for the copyright, then they know that on this date at this time, this information changed hands through a third party. And
Okay.
so, like, I did that for some of my earlier work, and yeah, we were I wanna say we were, like, 4 years in, and I didn't give myself any kind of a deadline, and I was just like, "Okay, if I wanna make something out of this so it's more than just a hobby, let's put that 10-year stamp on it. And I don't know if it was self-sabotage at the time, but I'm like, let's credit those 4 years we've already been doing. So
Uh-huh.
then I gave my window like a 6-year window instead of that 10. And it just so happened I then created the website and, just kind
Mhm.
of doing, right? Instead of learning, researching, I started doing. And
Yeah.
by doing, then I saw Century Films did a holiday film, and I was like, that looks really, really good. That I feel like with my level of storytelling and their visual ability, I think we could have something really great here. And I reached out to them. We had a conversation, and then thankful that I had the website because I could just click on it and we could read log lines, we could talk
Mhm.
about projects, and everything was right there. I wasn't stuck not remembering what I was working on. And, then they were like, "Well, send us a script, short films, we'll see what we can do." And then I sent them the script for Shut the Box,
Mhm.
and then we made it. And we did a Kickstarter campaign for it. We raised just over 3 grand. We shot it
Uh-huh.
over a weekend, edit it, and then put it out there. And like that's I mean, again, like that's one that's available on the website. And that was the
Mhm.
first thing that technically the second thing I've done because we started working together on that one. And then they were doing their holiday film and then I signed on with them, and I helped
Mhm.
them write that one, and so I wrote a holiday short film, and then did this, and then a couple holiday films, and then we jumped into 5683 before it was too late.
That's great. That's why I have 1 comment, 1 question because,
Mhm,
I mean, that's a perfect example of just do it, you know? Because
mhm,
I like you were saying, and I hear this advice from, I mean, even Christopher Nolan and then Cory Barker from Obsession, where he's just like,
mhm,
"Just make the thing, even if it's bad, just make it, just do it." Because like, you can have your stuff written down forever, and you can talk about doing it, and then, like, you did it, you gave
mhm,
yourself a window, and then you actually were able to, like, then meet the right people and then get it done. So, like,
mhm,
that's just awesome just to hear that because I mean, it's like it's just living proof of that, like, you can get something done if you just push through it.
right. Yeah, and
And
that's really all it was.
yeah. And then the second thing, so I was because you had mentioned getting the funding, and that's something that I just know so little about, and another thing that seems very intimidating is, like, you have to in order to make something, you need to have the budget, you need to make the money to do it,
Mhm,
and even recently, I was in a park with my friend, and these I think the student film people came up, and they were asking for, people to, like, buy these cookies for, like, a couple dollars because they were raising money for their student
mhm.
film, and so that's, like, such a like, a minor, s like, a minor level to that, but, like, what is that process like with the Kickstarter and then trying to get that budget? Because there's a lot of details that go into that as well.
Yeah, in one word, headache. I mean, there's no good way
Yeah.
to put it. I mean, there's really not, and, like, that's the thing. When it comes to filmmaking, I've seen people when it's like, "Oh, you wanna get into screenwriting?" My first advice is don't, because it's
Oh,
not
man,
what you think it
yeah.
is. The thing is if you have a love for it, it's exactly what you think it is. It's a
Mhm.
lot of hard work, it's a lot of grit and determination, but that comes with headaches, and it comes with fatigue, and it comes with long 12-hour days, and
Yeah.
you're not ready for the next day, but you show up on set with a smile on your face, like, that's what you do. Uh,
Mhm.
but the crowdfunding was a bit crazy. Um, we Shut the Box, we just kind of it was our first time doing my first time doing any kind of a Kickstarter, and I reached out to some family, just kinda got an idea of, like, what is it that you would be interested in as far as rewards?
Mhm.
Because and we'll get into this a little bit later with 5683, but you have to know your demographic. You have to know what they're looking for, but also you need to know what your overall goal is to raise. And so because it's based on an old game that's primarily located on the East Coast, because it's
Mhm.
also known as like tile and dice and stuff like that. So you have
Okay.
these tiles and the dice, you roll the dice and then you knock down the tiles in corresponding matching of what you roll. So if you roll a 7, it's a 3 and a 4, or the
Okay.
6 and the 1, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then you have to get all the tiles down, and then you're able to shut the box. And
Okay.
so we did that, and it was a low again, a low budget, low budget indie, like suspense thriller type. A lot of people that watched it said it reminded them of Goosebumps from back in the day, that old TV
Okay.
show.
Okay, yeah.
And, so then when we got to 5683, or I'm sorry, so we ended up finding on Amazon games that were like that, and it was all like a maple wood, and we knew
Mhm.
somebody that could do wood carving. So they carved the movie logo in it, and
Wow.
then we did it for like the top 4 contributors, and it was like at a $500 contribution. And so we sold 4 of those. That's 2 grand. So like
Mhm.
that's right there to almost to our goal. And so we said, we sold them there and had them decide what they wanted to engrave. And so then we
Mhm.
engraved it, and it was limited 104, 204, 304, that sort of thing.
Okay.
When we came to do the crowdfunding for 5683, it was a little different. We reached out to another company um, that was the name's escaping me right now. Everybody's gonna be so upset that I forgot. And they were more about, what it takes in Hollywood to crowdfund. And so they were all like, you have too many physical rewards, too many tangibles. Because we had
Mm.
shirts and sweatshirts and like the Blu-ray
Yes.
copy of the movie. And the thing is, I don't know if it's the same on the East Coast, but we were getting feedback on the West Coast that people don't want physical media. They all want digital. And so I don't.
They didn't want the pink hoodies that you guys
Yeah,
have?
no, they didn't want the hoodies, they don't want, yeah, so I'm like, "Okay,
Man,
fine." And
they're
so we
cool.
had to adjust it and include more digital, so we did more like a digital postcards from set. We did, if you go on our website,
That's
you'll
awesome.
see like a pink book that, was 5683, and that was like, it's password protected, so it was for the Kickstarter
Yeah,
reward.
I clicked on it and then saw
It
there was a
didn't work?
password, so
Yeah.
I couldn't get it.
Yeah, and so it was like a daily diary of when we were filming. So
Mhm.
like I would do a specific photo from that day and then a little blurb of what things were like on set. Um Seed and Spark. There it is.
Seed and
Yeah.
Spark, okay.
Yeah, because they're geared towards film,
Okay.
film and TV. So they're not just, but again, each one has its own level. So if you go through a general GoFundMe, you take whatever you raise.
Mhm.
If you do a Kickstarter, it's an all or nothing.
Mhm.
And then if you do Seed and Spark, you put the amount you want, and if you get 80% of your goal, you get what they call greenlit. So then you
Yep,
get
yep.
you get the funding if you can raise 80%. But if you don't raise 80, you don't get anything.
Wow.
So yeah, and like, so crowdfunding. So like that's the thing too. We were 5 days deep into filming when we
Damn.
got greenlit. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow, so you can just start.
Yeah, so we start at 50, 60, and I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, tell me to stop talking and you.
No, keep going.
Okay. Alright, so it came time to start filming, and we weren't even halfway to goal, and we're
Oh,
like, "What do
wow.
we do?" We had a 3-day weekend shoot scheduled, and we're like, "What scenes can we do in this? Let's make it 2 days instead of 3, just do it over the weekend, and then what scenes can we do so if we have to stop filming and we can come back 6 months, that will still work, so we're not losing out."
Mhm.
Or, how much is it gonna cost? So this way, if nothing happens, we're cutting our losses at a minimum. And so me and Brittany Benedict, the director, we
Mhm.
sat down and just brutally went through this. I tell you what, every production in Hollywood has to have their own Brittany Benedict. That's the only way they're getting stuff done. Because Brittany Benedict is so amazing, meticulous, and
Mhm.
just in tune. Like she knows what's happening. And so she's doing all of that pre-production. And then you get her on set. Oh, look out. And she's behind that camera. She's leading the actors. It's a
Uh-huh.
whole nother ball game. But yeah, so there is other Brittany Benedicts out there because if it wasn't for her, this film wouldn't have been made at all. So then we had everybody coming in on that weekend on, gas cards and a prayer, like just
Oh,
hoping that it would work.
yeah.
Because if, they're coming in hoping that we get funded because then we're able to pay them their rate that we had discussed.
Mhm.
If not, we're only paying them gas. Like that's kind of the thing. Like that's where we were at. Like, are you cool with coming for 2 days on gas in
Mhm.
hopes that this does get picked up? And then we were like, we loved it so much. Everybody just hit it off, just the different jokes that were flying and everything. We were having so much fun. And we're like, okay, we have to do this. And then our Kickstarter, it started to climb. It started to climb. And we're
Mhm.
like, "Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it."
We're gonna get there.
And then we had to do like, it was a 4-day shoot
Mhm.
at the hotel that we were located at because there were
Okay.
so many scenes at the hotel.
Mhm.
And so we're like, "Okay, what do we do now?" And we're like, we're all in. We go all in. It's what we have to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, all right. So we talked to people, we made it all work out. Everybody's willing to come. That was like our biggest time, our biggest all hands on deck. And we were there the night of day 2 or day 3. I can't quite remember. And then boom, we got greenlit. Our email started going off from Seed and Spark that you're good. Movie's getting made. It's solid. You're ready to go. And we just didn't know what to do.
Probably such a nice relief too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it also takes your adrenaline and it goes through the roof because it's
Oh
like, "We're
shit.
going!"
We
Yeah.
gotta
Like,
do it now.
yeah, it was insane. But yeah, and I made the comment before and I'll say it again anytime I get to talk about this movie is so many Hail Mary passes were thrown
Mm,
and caught in the production of this movie.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple questions related to that aspect and something you had mentioned earlier that I'm gonna we're gonna get into when we get more into the movie, but I was gonna ask you, when it comes to, like, because it sounds like Brittany was just completely dialed in on set and, like, getting the vision come to life, but as someone as the writer, are you, like, also collaborating really close with her on set and, like, creating the vision, or is it more like her seeing it through? Like, what's that relationship like?
So I would just coin it as the perfect collaboration. So
Okay.
well, because especially like what we've experienced with the creative team is it's kind of like I came in just in this particular situation. I come in as the writer. So
Mhm,
the script, I present the script and I present it to Brittany Benedict. She's going to direct it. As long as she can see the vision and the
mhm.
story, she's going to take it. When she read this script, she said it was her favorite script that I've written that she's read to date.
Oh,
So
wow,
she
wow.
loved it. So that she was all in. And if she's all in, Michael Huntington is her partner through Century
Mhm,
Films, he's in. So we have the writer, we have the director, and then we have the cinematographer, DP, editor, right?
mhm.
And so then what every time. So most of our shoots were over the weekend. So
Okay.
me and her would sit down some point Monday through Thursday, somewhere in there leading up to the shoot weekend, and we would go through the scenes we were going to shoot. And we would read them out loud. We would go over the dialogue, we'd go over
Mhm,
action and blocking and everything. And again, I wrote this story of 4 strong, independent women in different stages of their lives and I knew that I needed amazing female actresses that could
mhm.
play these roles, but I also needed it through the eyes of a female. I didn't wanna direct this movie at all.
Yeah.
I don't think that, like, men that I know that are directors, I don't think it would be theirs. I don't think they would have that added intuition, and so, having Brittany Benedict at the helm, I mean, it was just perfect, but yeah, we would go through all the scenes, and again, too, once we're, like, 3, 4 weekends in, the actors have made these characters theirs, so they've given a certain cadence to things. So then the way the dialogue is written, she wouldn't say it like that. So why force her to say it?
Mhm.
How would she say it? And then we would adjust it to their cadence and how they deliver the lines and things of that nature. We also changed, some of the action lines because like they might not react that way. They might not handle the situation that way. So
Yep.
no, just what I would say an amazing collaborative effort is what made this possible too.
There's such a big thing on social media that I've seen. I'm curious if you've seen it, and I'm curious, Courtney, if you've seen it as well, but there's comments that would be like, "This movie was made by a man, clearly," or "This movie was made by a woman, clearly." And like you said, this movie, clearly, it's women-driven movie,
Hmm.
and Courtney and I were talking about, like, we didn't expect it to be as raunchy as it was,
Yeah.
which
Hmm.
we really liked,
Right.
but and I remember we were saying, like, this is actually, like, how women will talk when they're with each other,
You
and
guys
so
you guys felt that? Like, you guys think that's how women talk on girls' nights or
I
things
mean,
like that?
Courtney.
I mean, I feel like for sure, I feel like it's like, yeah, you kind of were able to see into like girls' night and stuff. And
Mhm.
it might not always be like that, but like
Right,
girls talk about it all just like guys do, but it's not
right.
always shown or seen. And so
Mhm.
it definitely like we picked up on that and talked about it too.
No, that's awesome, and, like, that was a thing for me, and in the last podcast, Courtney, you had made a comment about, how did Kevin come up with some of this stuff or things of that nature. I grew up with 4 sisters, so they all had friends,
Yeah.
and they all talk, and then even being especially for me being in the corporate business world, I kinda wonder if HR is around to wrangle some of the women because they can say some things, and I'm like, "Did you just
Mhm.
did she?" "Yeah, she did." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I wanted this to be I don't wanna say the term natural because, like, that's, like, too cliche, but, like, sometimes when it comes to comedies with men at the helm, they can just say it and that's just it because guys will be guys. But it's like, no, girls can be funny too. And
Mhm.
girls can be witty and girls can cut with their words. Like,
Mhm.
so I tried to find that for each of the girls and give them their own little avenue and then see how they played together. So yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys like appreciated it and been like, yeah, girls can be like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I do like how it came out in each character differently as well, like, exactly how you're saying, like, each girl did have, like, a very, like, definitive character, and you could, like, tell kind of what they were gonna say or do or how they would react, but they all yeah, they all had, like, a sense of raunchiness to them, like, it was good,
Right.
it was entertaining, it was funny, and
Right.
it's true, it usually is, like, the male characters that are that way, but
And
women can be funny too.
since we're talking about the girls, real quick, I wanna ask, did you guys pick up on their names? The connection?
I eh, I did not, but my guess did it spell out love?
It does.
Okay,
Be
I'm
Oh
'cause
my god.
I'm remembering because I know
Yeah,
Vanessa, but I was trying to remember the other names now.
right. So, you have Layla, Olivia, Vanessa, and in the movie, they call her Lizzie, but when the limo driver picks her up, he holds a sign that says Elizabeth's Crew.
Oh,
And
man.
Oh my
then
gosh.
when Layla gives the toast at the end before they leave for the hotel,
Mhm.
she says, "Elizabeth, if Ward loves you as much as we," you know what I mean? Sh
Yeah.
Whereas Elizabeth,
Oh
so it was
my
a little
god.
hidden thing in there. So, yeah, so not only does 5683 spell love on the phone pad, the girls themselves, their names spell love. So I thought that was a little thing, and that's like the little, like, sprinkles that writers put in just to
Yeah.
see who's gonna pick up on it, who's not, and again, not everything sticks, but yeah. So that's one
That
thing too a lot of people didn't really pick up on. So either we hit it too hard or we just did it just right. But
No,
yeah.
I think you did it just right because I it's fun when it's like, "Oh, maybe they'll catch that," but then you talk to someone who is part of the film, and it's like then you kinda, like, get to see it from their eyes, and you're like, "Oh."
Mhm.
It's crazy because I kinda just got chills because we were literally just talking about how it's so impressive when writers and directors, they shoot something and they put in, like, little Easter eggs,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I'm always like, "How the hell do you even think of that?" 'Cause it could be, like,
Really?
the wildest connection, like, you're, like, really reaching for something, but then with that, it's, like, subtle, but it makes sense as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
love
it's
that.
not like if that was, like, a really big point, I don't know how that would be, then it'd be like, "Okay, well, this is weird."
Mhm.
But that's just, like, a subtle thing for, like, the writer, which I think is awesome.
Right.
Sorry, my dogs are
Um
barking, but I had one other thing too about the, like, hidden Easter eggs, because I
Mhm.
feel like we have talked a lot about that, and I think that, like, those are what make, like, my favorite TV shows my favorite or favorite movies, like, I love going back and being able to find out more, and so now I'm, like, excited to watch it again, honestly, because 'cause I'm like, "I wanna see what else I can pick up on," and,
Mhm.
like, all those shows, like, I would bring to the podcast, and sometimes Seb won't watch them, but I do talk about the
Majority
Easter
of the time, I
eggs.
don't watch them.
Yeah. So now I'm, like, really excited because 'cause I'm like, "I wanna see what else I can find in there."
Right. No, it's fun. Yeah, there's just so much, and it's like sometimes it's the little things too, because like, right before Vanessa's final date,
Mhm.
and we use the transition to go into Layla's apartment where Vanessa or Layla's house where Vanessa's getting ready, and we just show the shot of her son's wolf stuffed animal is decapitated on the
Yeah,
shelf of the bookshelf. So like she's done with the big bad wolf. She's had
yeah.
enough. She's, you know what I'm saying? Like her son can't even have a stuffed wolf. Like that's how
So
yeah,
funny.
so, like, little things like that I thought were fun.
That's so great.
And
So,
then are
well
those things sorry, Seb.
no, go, 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 go.
But, like, are those things thought of, like, in the mix of the like, of creating the movie, like, filming and everything, or is that something that you, like, are writing into it ahead of time?
Well, some of them are. I mean, some of them are definitely there. Other times they just kinda come up because, like, Brittany will be like, "Well, we should look to do this," or and sometimes our set design team, Type A Design, they're just getting started, they're here in Iowa as well. Layla's house was an Airbnb, so it was just
Mhm.
bare bones. So all the toys, all the mess, all the lived in, they did that. They
Wow.
made it lived in. And
Wow.
even at the hotel, all the party supplies, the balloons, the drinks, everything, they did that. So I do think that was more of like a collaborative effort. Somebody said, "Hey, it'd be funny if," and then everybody scoured to find a wolf stuffed animal. Um but yeah, so sometimes it's there, sometimes it just kinda happens, and it kinda goes, to, one of the certain lines, like, one big one at the end. I would say no spoilers in this episode, but you guys already did that in the last episode,
Yeah.
so, um,
We had too
but
much to talk about.
right? But the line at the end that still gives me chills is when he says, "Do you know how many Rusty Andersons there are in this town? It's weird." Like, that came from Brittany Benedict reading the script over and over and over.
Uh-huh.
Then we're talking about the ending, and she's like, "It's still missing a little something," and, like, as you start to see it come to life, you're kinda like, "Yeah, it is missing something, like, we can do better."
Mhm.
But as far as, like, certain, like, running jokes or things of that nature, the Deep in Carsville was supposed to just be that opening scene to introduce us to, like, what Vanessa does when she has downtime, and that's it. And then as we're on set, all the actors were like, "We need more of this. Like, can this be something throughout the whole movie?"
Uh-huh.
So it was really like if you took a poll of everybody on set, actors and crew, they were all like, "Yeah, we need more Deep in Carsville." And so I'm like, "All right, let's do it." So after we shot the movie, we wrote the other filler scenes as like one, quick little hits, and then we shot them all in one day with those 2
Oh,
episodes.
wow. Yeah, because I know Courtney had some questions regarding that.
Yeah, like, when we were watching or I guess we watched it at different times, but when I first watched it, I was like, "What?" I guess I was trying to figure out, like, how did it tie together? Like, was it supposed to
Mm.
tie together? Was it not supposed to tie together? And, like, I know from the first scene, like, I picked up, like, yeah, that's what she watches, like, she loves the romance and stuff like that. But then I just was curious, like, why it continued out through the film, which I guess you kind of just answered, and then more
Mhm.
of, like, the background of it too, I guess, because I feel like we got to
Right.
know the other characters a lot, like, super well, because that was the main movie.
Right.
But I feel like you don't often see another film almost within it, so I was just curious if you could tell us more about it.
Sure. So just to kind of go through, if I can remember, like all the different discussions that we had, but we tried to have Deep in Carsville be a slight break from the main story because it's almost like with
Mm.
horror. If you're gonna scare them, scare them, scare them, scare them, you gotta
Mhm.
let them breathe a minute and then go. And so, like, we get the initial introduction, and then the next time you see Deep in Carsville, although it's like almost continuous from the first moment, she's watching it like on a streaming platform.
Mhm.
And in there, she just got done talking to, or she got just had girls' night, how she needs a man, this, that, and the other, and she's like, no. And in that scene with Deep in Carsville, um, Esperanza says, "You can love your career, but that doesn't mean your career will love you back."
Uh-huh.
And then they go back at it, and then she pauses it, and what does she do? She searches for Rusty Anderson. So, you know what I mean? She's kinda like,
Mhm.
"Okay, if I'm gonna stop this show, what am I gonna do?" Typically, she'd get back to work.
Mhm.
But Esperanza said, right? And then, she's trying to meet, she's trying to find her Rusty Anderson, and then she's going on all these different dates. And then we cut to like all these, I mean, just a couple horrible dates. And then the next time we see Deep in Carsville, they're getting engaged.
Mhm.
So it's like there is light at the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
and then the wedding, which kind of allowed us to cheat because we didn't want to be cliche and show Lizzie's wedding. Like, you do that all the time,
Mhm.
but we had to give the audience a wedding. So if
Mhm.
we give them the
Mhm.
Deep in Carsville wedding, they get a wedding. Because when you watch the movie, you go from the girls getting ready to the girls getting off the party bus and going into the reception.
Mhm.
You don't see Lizzie's wedding at all. but you didn't need to because you saw one, you get the idea,
Yep.
and then you move on. But that just kind of goes to show how things can get messy because the identical twin comes back. And then in Vanessa's life, what happens? She deals with the mess of her friends, and then at the reception, she meets Rusty, but not the way she thought it was.
Mhm.
So it gets messy. You know what I'm saying? So like we tried
Yeah.
to do things like that and just kind of have that play out. So it was kind of like an inner film narrative or narration as to what she's
Yeah,
going through.
100%, and I think it's also a good way to just, like, not give the audience, like, exactly what am I trying to say? It's like, you're not, like, making everything you're not over explaining every little thing as well,
Right.
and I think
Yeah.
that's something that's so important in film, and, I mean, that's we'll kinda get into it more because I've, comments about the ending, but that's why I love the ending so much because
Hmm.
it leaves it kinda open-ended, and so
Right.
then you wanna continue talking about it. Um, but I'm excited to rewatch this now because it's so much more interesting when you, like, know more about everything that went into it, and then, like, I mean, I was checking out, I know you're a writer at Mediaverse too, is that correct?
Yeah, when Mediaverse first started off, we kind of took the creative team and kind of like designated them as like, head of the departments and things.
Mhm,
I mean, things have changed and things
mhm.
have moved a little bit, but I mean, if there's somebody who has a project and they bring it to Mediaverse and they're like, I have an idea, but I don't know how to write the script. Then that's when they'll be like,
Okay,
Kevin, we got this person. And then I jump in and be like, okay. So at Mediaverse, we can essentially help creatives in all different stages of where they're at. They may have even
okay, okay.
shot part of it and are wondering if they can salvage it. And so then we'll see what's needed and go from there. They might come in with a full script. So we're like, okay, this is perfect, ready to go. Let's jump on a Kickstarter and see what we
Mhm.
can raise for funding, this, that, and the other. So yeah, we can help in different stages. So yeah,
Okay,
I'm a
okay.
writer over there as well.
Because I saw a lot of the, like, is it BTS? Just photos of on set behind the camera,
Yeah,
and
behind
then
the scenes.
yeah, so being able to see that, and then, like, even just, like, the subtle nod to love with the names, and then
Hmm.
hearing all these little things, just and then, like, the story with the TV show that she's watching makes everything just that much better too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Excuse me.
excited to rewatch it too because I was like at times I was like, "What? I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I need to catch on to something and I wasn't." And now I
Mhm.
feel like if I rewatch it, I'm gonna totally get exactly what you're saying because it makes so much sense. Even just you explaining it, I was like, "Okay, I fully understand."
Right. Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. So that's where like festival runs are really, really good because people, I mean, they're there to watch films and then that's where you'll get some of your best feedback. And one trick that we put in here, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but did you guys watch all the way to the end credits?
I saw that you had, like, bloopers at the end.
But then all the way? Because see,
Oh, I don't think I did then.
at film festivals, they play the whole movies, and so when you're in your film blocks, people have to watch the credits, and so one thing we didn't wanna
Oh.
do is we didn't wanna be quoted as being boring, so instead of just doing a credit scroll, we did the bloopers,
Mhm.
but then right at the very end, the one final scene at the very end. So, yeah, go back and rewatch it, both
Oh
of you
my
Oh,
can
gosh.
I'm annoyed I didn't
The
wait.
same,
I didn't
but
know
it's
that was a
okay.
thing.
We're
yeah.
already gonna rewatch it, so it'll just make it even better now.
Yeah, so just sit to the end and yeah, because that was like because we did that. We were like, "Okay, well, let's not be boring, and then let's, like, throw
Mhm.
in one little thing." So
Oh, that's smart because, like, I'm a person who will wait for the credits at the end in case there is something else,
mhm,
but sometimes I'll look it up,
right,
but I wish I had done that. I'm annoyed now at
right.
myself,
Well,
but
and that's the one thing too is, I mean, you guys could always just skip to the end. I mean, it's, like, the last minute, but still,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
exciting, it's super fun, and it's just those things that you do and you think of as,
Mhm.
a screenwriter and then as, an actual filmmaker is what do we do?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So kinda getting into more about 5683, just, like, the origins of it, and, I mean, you were talking about Britney and how, like, you kinda, like, bring in the woman's, view
Mhm.
and, like, her directing. So, like, where did this idea for this romantic comedy stem from? Or, and, like, did you know that you were like, "Oh, I wanna do a romantic comedy," or because I mean, I know you've done other genres.
Right.
And so I'm curious, like, why it ended up landing on this or what that process was like.
Sure. When I was learning screenwriting and I'm
Mhm,
learning formatting and things like that, the one thing that kept coming when I do my research, if I find multiple sources are saying the same thing,
mhm,
okay, I'm on board. But if one person here is saying this and one person over here is saying that, I kind of just push them both to the side and I do
mhm,
more research and I find a consensus. The one consensus that I kind of like shook my head at was if you want to make it as a screenwriter, you have to pick one genre and you have to master the genre. But I'm like, that's it's too early for me to know what I'm good at. So how am I
mhm,
going to pick one thing? So I did the sequel to We're the Millers and then fan film. And then I started doing the young adult survivalist. I did the first one of that. And then 5683, the idea came along. So I'm sitting at the Cheesecake Factory with my siblings, two of my sisters and my brother. And at the time, like there were a couple family members that were having a hard time dating. And that's when like online dating was really taking off. And like it was
mhm.
kind of not frowned upon, but it was kind of like, oh, you're on the sites. Like it was still kind of an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we got to talking and we're just like, yeah, they're just having such a hard time, but there's just so much out there. I mean, just with the different apps that were there, and then each app has its own, like, niche group, and then
Mhm.
they grow out and out and out and out, and what are you supposed to do if you can't find your person? And then me and my sister, we looked at each other and we're like, "Ah, if there was just one thing. If you just knew one thing, like, if you knew what their interest was, like, their main interest, or if you knew what their job was, or you knew would you then take the information given and then search that way?"
Okay.
And so then that was it. That was the end of the discussion. No big deal. Like, would dating be easier if you knew one thing about your true love? That's it. Moving on. And then we went to a comedy show and then we all went home and that was it. My brain won't shut down. My brain won't let it stop there. And so then next thing you know, I have this whole log line. I have this idea. It's these four girls, this, that, and
Mhm.
the other. And it was that the billboard gives you the name. Like it has to be the name.
Mhm,
And then that's when, as a writer, it's difficult because now I have to get the audience's buy in that these girls are going to get names and they're going
mhm,
to have to go after those names. How do I get buy in? And it's if I can get the characters buy in, then I'll get the audience.
mhm,
And that's why Lizzie gets Ward, because she's engaged. She's gonna get
mhm.
married. It is her true love. And even Vanessa was like, "Look, I know how these things work. I'm in the ad business. If she gets Ward, I'll send a text." Boom, she gets Ward, because that's
Yeah.
typical of the rom-com genre, but it's giving buy-in. And once
Mhm.
that happens, we're kinda like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I also oh, Courtney, were you about
Oh,
to say
I was
something?
just gonna say that was, like, probably my favorite part of the movie because I loved how different each character's answer was and, like, watching each of them play out, like, it was just a really cool way to, like, add character development throughout the whole movie and just see it all play out, and it was all so different. I just thought it was really good. That was, like, probably my favorite part for sure.
Awesome, thank you.
Um, shoot, Courtney,
You're
you
good.
interrupting me. Um, oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm annoyed that now I can't remember what my question was. I
You're
think I had
good.
to do with I don't remember now. Oh, okay, actually, yes, I do remember. Okay, so what I'm kinda all over the place, and you probably have seen that on the pod just in general,
You're good.
but so what I really enjoyed is the fact that it's I thought you guys had the same cup for a sec there. Um, is it's very different from, like, your like, quote, unquote, like, normal rom-com
Mhm,
because and I was explaining this on the last episode where a lot of times it's like there's a build up and then there's, like, a crash,
mhm,
and y it's because the 2 characters, like, they find something out or like, "Oh, you're just using me for this," or whatever, and then it's like, "Oh, no, but, like, we love each other," and so then they come
mhm,
back together, and it wasn't like that, and, like, then now that the more we talk about it, I'm thinking, like, this movie is, like it's so much about the person that she's looking for, but also it's also like girlhood in a sense too, now that I'm thinking about it. It's not just this romance movie, it's like the relationships with
Mhm.
their friends. And so I think that's really interesting, but I just love the fact that it doesn't follow like your standard rom-com, and it's not like I feel like a lot of times with romance movies, it's like you're like romanticizing every little interaction you're having with someone, and
Mhm.
like even with your friends, it's like, "Oh my god, like you're so beautiful," but it's like, no, it's like raunchy. You guys are talking like you're getting deep, and so I appreciate that aspect of this movie so much.
That's awesome. No, thank you so much. I've been kind of coining the phrase that we give and I think I said it in the message too, that we're giving the rom-com genre a nostalgic approach. We
Mhm.
want the nostalgia, but nobody's doing it right. And you can't do it right. So you
Yep.
got to look to something new. And that's when, and I've been accused of this movie being more calm than rom. And I'm
Mm.
fine with that. I mean, that's just maybe that's my strength. I mean, I do tend to find the funny,
Is he frozen for
so
you?
I enjoy
Mhm,
doing that,
Okay.
mhm.
but are we back?
I think so.
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a slight lag, possibly.
Okay. Were you able to hear me the whole time, but I was just frozen?
No, you started and then you cut out.
Oh, okay. Because I kept going, you guys were frozen, and I'm like, "I don't know what's going on."
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I was like, "I know he's probably still talking, but we can't hear him."
right. Okay, so we're all good. Yeah, so I guess basically I was saying that, just taking the nostalgic approach to it, and, like,
Mhm,
I've been accused of not accused, but, like, I mean, I've heard the phrase that this movie is more calm than rom. And maybe so, like, that's because maybe that's my strengths, like, I tend to find the
mhm,
funny in a lot of things, and this was not so much about, like, focused on, like, the finding true love, it's about the horrors of finding your true love,
mhm,
like, God, I mean, even given the name, she still can't find him. Like, who are
mhm,
these people? But it allowed her to find people that met the criteria or the core characteristic where she wouldn't normally look for them because she never goes to the daycare. Why would she go to that daycare?
uh-huh.
And she's not gonna look at people who have a record because you know what I'm saying? Like, what she never goes to the courthouse. What does she have to go there for? You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
these people are being found for her outside of her circle, and it just makes for chaos.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, the chemistry between the cast is so good, and especially in particular between Adrian and Vanessa, the characters, and so it's like, you don't need it to be this clear-cut romantic comedy movie where it's like they're all lovey-dovey. It's like, you know from the start, I think I was telling Courtney this, like, you know from the start, like, these 2 will probably end up being together
Mhm,
because, like, you can tell that there's a connection there, but then it, like, progresses throughout the movie. He's still part of her life, and then, obviously, you have the little twist at the end, which I did not expect, and Courtney kind of saw it coming, and
mhm,
I was like, "Oh, shit, wait, that changes everything," and
right,
then it leaves it open-ended, so, like, you know that they're probably gonna, like, go on a date or something, but it's like, it doesn't need to be this super romantic movie. So, like, I mean, calm versus rom, like, who cares? I think it does its job.
right. Well, and that was the thing too with that whole setup, and I remember because I listened to the last podcast, and, when Courtney, you were talking about how you kinda saw what was gonna happen, you kinda knew, but the
Mhm,
story itself kept you intrigued. That's
mhm,
kind of like what my goal was as the writer. It wasn't so much to have this twist because it was almost like most people are gonna watch the movie and be like, "Oh, I know what's gonna happen." But then they're like, "Well, wait, what about," and then there's
Mhm.
that thing, and then don't forget about, so just throwing, like, the little things
Yes.
in there,
mhm,
because ultimately by having the name requirement, that was one thing, where it's like, as an audience, you want them together, and by the second date, you want her just to give up. You want her to just talk to the guy, just talk to him, and then it's like she's in the middle of it, and they run into each other outside her apartment, and
That's
Grace is there.
so
Well,
funny with the face
at the
spread.
very beginning when they're at the bar and they're asking her, "What about him? What about him?" And then they ask about Adrian, and she's like, "He's got a girlfriend, probably." Well, then
Mhm.
she sees him with Grace. So there's nothing to do there.
Yep.
And then coming off the elevator, there's that long, awkward hug. And he says, "Grace and I," and she breaks off the hug because she's not gonna be that person.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so it's not until she has all the information, and it's not until she decided to leave, like, the whole venture and
Mhm.
do her own thing, to believe in herself, to decide, "I'm gonna make these decisions." And she ended up leaving, cutting Layla loose on movie night and going to the comedy club.
Mhm.
If she didn't do that, if she didn't make that decision for herself, what would have happened that night? She would have wallowed and they would have watched Dirty Dancing because
Yeah.
baby's been in the corner long enough,
Man, we
right?
we we we
So
really need signs that just say, like, "My sister," or something like that
mhm,
instead of just, like yeah, because I mean, if you're like I feel like siblings deal with that in general, they just kind of assume, so it's like, "Co
right,
come on, like, you're taking away the girls from us."
right. Well, and, like, that's the thing too is where it does get raunchy with his joke at the comedy club at the end of the night. We wrote that scene when they encounter each other when they encounter everybody in the hallway, right?
Mhm.
And he says, "Grace, this is Vanessa," and she's about to say something. He's like, "My neighbor, Vanessa," because in the comedy world, he's working on a joke from
Mhm.
their first encounter. And so he was just going to introduce them as Grace and Vanessa, moving on.
Mhm.
And the only added information was that Vanessa's his neighbor because he wants Grace to shut up because he's
Mhm.
working on this bit. You can't ruin this bit for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you later see the bit play out. So, we set that up so this way he wouldn't say who she is. And their
Mhm.
dialogue together, that works both ways. It
Mhm.
works, in both relationships of brother sister, it works as a couple. So, that's what we did that on, like, that was 100% on purpose, like a little misdirection kind
Mhm.
of, this is what's gonna happen. So, and I've always felt too that, like, a good story is a good story.
Yep.
You might know what happens in the end, but it's how they get there, and if
Mhm.
that's a good story and it's not boring, then you're gonna be fine at the end.
Yep. Well, so because I know you've worked with Caitlin, who plays Vanessa,
Yes.
and what was, like, the casting like for this? Because I know you also mentioned earlier in the pod about how you guys were able like, I feel like everyone connected, you had time to connect and everything, but what was, like, building up that chemistry between is it Landon's and Caitlin, their
Yeah,
characters?
Landon and Caitlin.
Because, I mean, their chemistry is so clear there.
Yeah, and so, like, they're kind of in the same Iowa independent film circuit. I
Okay.
don't really know if they've done much together before this,
Mhm.
but they've interacted, they know each other, you know what I'm saying? They're
Yep.
familiar. But we did a casting call for everybody in the film,
Mhm.
and then we did a Zoom call table read, which worked out great. I attribute the chemistry for 2 reasons. 1, amazing actors, amazing performers, and great people. I mean, the cast in this movie, you can't ask for anything better. And then the way we were forced to shoot the film. So in that first weekend, we did like minimal scenes, right?
Mhm.
And then the next weekend was all the hotel stuff. So everybody, the 4 girls and Landon, they were all in this hotel, not in a hotel room, but at the hotel for
Yep.
4 days together, just hanging out.
It's
Like,
like summer camp or something.
yeah, yeah, and so the 4 girls, they were able to really get to know each other in a limited
Mhm.
space, and they were really able to build a camaraderie over 4 days. So then the next time they all met again was on what we call the meet the girls scene when they're at the bar.
Okay. Mhm.
So that's why it's so natural because this is a fresh relationship
That's
and they
awesome.
know who the characters are, where they're gonna end up, and how are they gonna get there, and those 4 girls just absolutely amazing. Yeah, Caitlin is amazing, she's dependable, um, she's just great, and then Rachel, who played Layla, she took Layla and made her own. My friend Adrian Houghton is the guy because it's the name in the movie. So Adrian, my coworker, who's read
Uh-huh.
every single word I put to paper, his name's Adrian Houghton. So I put his
Okay.
name in the movie, and so he's Adrian, right? But he when he saw the premiere with the backers, he
Mhm.
walked up to her and he said, "I've known Layla for years, and you played her completely different than what I had in my mind, and I couldn't
Wow.
imagine it being any better." So,
Wow.
she took it and made it her own, and Carly, who played Olivia, she again, same thing. She took that
Mhm.
strong, independent woman who is in charge of her life and everything and just said, "This is who this girl is." And you don't look back and you don't question it at all.
Mhm.
And then Sophia, who played Lizzie, oh, she was the perfect Lizzie. Like as soon as she auditioned for Lizzie, it's like, yep, that's her. Moving on. Move. She like
Without
she
saying
had
anyone else.
yeah, no, she had really good auditions for the other girls, but when you're in this mindset of you need this team and we have our Lizzie, if we move Lizzie to Vanessa, then we need to find a Lizzie. Who's
Mhm.
gonna be the Lizzie? And it's like, no, like she is Lizzie. So put her there and then let's go. And, yeah, they just gave amazing performances. They just worked out really, really well together. And as a writer, I could admit when, you're gonna find diamonds in the rough when you
Yep.
do give the actors some freedom. So it was never, you have to read these lines verbatim. Like this is your dialogue. And even with Brittany Benedict, she did not hold them to that. We gave them
That's
room to
awesome.
breathe because they have to breathe life into these characters. In the laundromat, a
Mhm.
lot of that between Caitlin and Landon was improvised. They
Okay.
they had their directive, but they just went and, like, when they're going back and forth, and he's like, "I'm a catch," and she's like, "I'm sure you are." He's like, "Yeah, ask my mom. I'm sure she's a lovely lady." Like, it was so hilarious. But, yeah, it was just pure banter, like, they just killed it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, that's like well, first I was gonna ask how much improv was there, but the fact that that was improvisation just shows you the chemistry between the 2, like, they didn't
Mhm.
have to, like, script everything, and you're like, "Oh, well, shoot, like, it's looks so good right there, let's just go with that."
Right. Well, and
Like, yeah,
speaking of
especially that scene.
yeah. Yeah, and, like, as far as, like, Landon, his improv is amazing, and his attention to detail is great because when we were at the bar, it was earlier in the day, he hadn't done his scene with Caitlin where they're sitting there talking to each other after he did his set,
Mhm.
and we're talking about the movie, the story, this, that, and the other, and the lady who's on the billboard, that is my Aunt Betty.
Oh.
Yeah, and when I told him the story of me talking to her, and she's like, "I want the billboard. I want the billboard because it was one of our Kickstarter rewards. If you
Uh-huh.
wanna contribute, you can be the face of 5683
Oh, that's
billboard."
actually so
Oh
sick.
And so
my
she
god.
yeah, she's like, "I wanna do it, I wanna do it," and I'm like, "It's gonna cost this much," and she's like, "Oh, good lord." And he used that in the movie, right? He's like, "The
Mhm.
billboard with old Aunt Betty on it? Oh, good lord." And that was in a side conversation me and him had, and he throws it in the movie, and it was just so natural.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, "Yeah, that's making the final cut for sure."
Man, I can't even imagine just, like, throw it. I mean, how okay, like, a scene like that, how
Mm.
many takes would you say you did?
Um, to be honest, I would just to throw a number out there, I don't think we ever reached this, because I'd say no more than 10. I mean,
Okay,
we did
okay,
it a couple
not super
times.
crazy.
No, we run it a couple times, you just kinda get the direction and get, like, for
Mhm.
lack of a better term, get the cobwebs out, let the
Yep.
actors just kinda get into it,
Mhm.
and then we do a couple, and then we're good, and then we do some safety ones, and then through the earlier ones, there might be lines that came up that we thought were great, so we're like, "Okay, let's do it again, but this time, try to do this, and then you can react that way or this way," and then go back and forth with it. So I wouldn't say any more than like 10. And
Oh,
this
wow.
again, the I'm stuttering over here because I'm so excited talking about it. This cast came to play. They were
Mhm,
bought in from the very beginning, which was huge for me as the
mhm.
writer to be like, okay, they're really into this. And yeah, it shows. And we had so much fun on set, even though there were things that did happen and headaches and this, that, and the other. We had a great time on set. And
Mhm.
we actually, I mean, I think we shot it in like no more than 15 days.
Okay,
So,
I was gonna ask you about the timeline. Okay,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we shot it in, like, 15 days, because I wanna say it's, like, 13 and a half. But then it's, like, we did have a pickup day, and then, like, Deep in Carsville was all 1 day of its own,
Mhm,
so, yeah, I think it was, like, 13 and a half, and then we did 1 day of Deep in Carsville, but yeah, and, like, the scene of her driving in the car,
mhm.
singing and hearing that voicemail from Olivia, that was an add-on. we didn't have a
Oh.
transition that went from her getting out of bed to going into the convenience store. And Brittany Benedict came up with that. She's like, "We need a transition. We're thinking about something like this." I'm like, "Let's do it. Let's run with it. Go, go."
Mhm.
And to me, it works out really, really well because it's like baby's been in the corner long enough. And she's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm going to get out." She gets out of bed, which had an amazing ad lib with in comedy. You're talking about putting a hat on a hat on a hat. I don't know if you guys have
Mhm.
heard that term before. And we had they had an idea that like she would get out of bed, or initially she was just going to get out of bed and walk away.
Mhm.
And then it was like, well, there's M&Ms everywhere. So what if she gets up and like she eats an M&M out of her shirt? And then it was like, well, there is a fruit by the foot. What if we do the
Yeah,
whole like
pull it out.
magician's handkerchief?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we settled on that. We're like, let's do it. And when we said action and she does the handkerchief, but then it was all Caitlin who put it in her mouth and walked off
Ah,
camera.
shoot.
We were just like, that's gold.
Oh.
That's just gold. I'm sorry, I'm out.
Here's
Are we back?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
I
right.
I I think I
I'm
think I
so
got
sorry.
no, you're good. I think I got what you were saying, like, when she pulled it out, it was really funny, everyone was like, "This is perfect." Is that what you? Because you kinda cut out a little bit. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it was when she was pulling it out and doing the handkerchief, and then when she took it out and put it in her mouth and walked off screen, that was all
Uh-huh.
her. Like, we were just doing like, just pull it out and then go about your day. So, no, that was all her. So,
That's the
that was a lot of fun.
Those are amazing moments because you can, like, really see the actor playing the character because like, Caitlin's probably so locked in on who Vanessa
Yeah,
is, and so it's like, instead of just doing something because it's, like, written or, like, Brittany told you to do it, it's like, well, this feels natural and it's funny, and so you do it, and then it's like, "Oh, wait, this is, like, a perfect piece of gold that we didn't expect."
yep. Yeah, and it's
That's
great when you
awesome.
find those, and when those happen, they're just amazing.
Yeah, and so okay, so Courtney kinda clowned me for this because I was like, Adrian's character, Landon, I was like, or yeah, I was like, he was so comfortable as, like, a comedian on the stage, and Courtney's like, "Yeah, well, he's acting." But I was like, it just felt like, okay, like, yes, you're acting, but then it's almost like on top of just being in front of a camera, you're also, like, actually on a stage, and obviously there's people and crew watching you all the time, but
Yeah.
it's like it felt like a different level, so I'm just curious if, like, if he thought the same or did he just think of it as like, "Oh, yeah, I'm this is just acting?" I don't know if that's, like, a weird thought to have, I don't know.
No, I mean, it makes sense. No, because I know his brother is part of an improv group and
Mhm,
like they train young actors in improv and things like that. So I
mhm.
know he's done a lot of that, but he's also done a lot of acting, and that man's courage is unwavering.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, between just his downright courage and his ability to act,
Mhm.
yeah, that it was nothing for him.
That's so impressive. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I was gonna say you had mentioned this a little earlier, but, like, with the bloopers, I love seeing something like that because it's really impressive because you see the bloopers and then it's like they do something, everyone laughs, and then, like, they just do it again immediately, they just lock back in,
Mhm.
and I've always just been like, "How can an actor just do that? How can you just be in a scene and then step out and be like, 'Oh, Kevin, how are you? Like, can you grab me a snack?'" And then it's like, "Alright, go," and then, like, you snap back into it, and so the
Yep.
bloopers always show that, and it's just another added thing that makes me, like, appreciate it and want to watch it again, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's so much fun. And again, too, like we were just having so much fun, and it was getting to the point like, oh, blooper reel,
Yeah,
because we kind of knew we were going to do it. And
yeah,
one thing we wanted to do is we wanted to do a dance number. We didn't know where it was going to go. We didn't know
uh-huh,
how, but we were just having so much fun that we're like, let's do a dance number.
mhm.
So, but yeah, it's just so much fun to see that, and then to see people like just watching you guys and your facial reactions on this podcast as we talk about it. You guys are like, "Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny too." So, and that's all we were out to do. We were just trying
Yeah.
to make people laugh. Like,
I mean, there were 2 scenes in particular. I know there was another scene that Courtney really liked, but there was 2 scenes in particular for me that really stood out, and I don't know if you remember it, but the first one was the knocking on the glass when
mhm,
the lady is just she's just there always, and, like, it's just so funny because 'cause you'll see her come up. It's just
right,
like, boom, she's there,
yep,
and I was like, "That was so funny," and then, like, the lighting was so good to where it was like it was, like, ominous and creepy, and I think that's when I was like, "Oh, man, like, he's gotta do horror," and obviously, I know you've done it, but I'm like, "Man, I wanna see more of that as well."
Mhm.
Um, but that bit was so funny, so it's like, is that something that you wrote completely like that, or was that, like, in the moment where, like, "Wait, that would actually be kind of interesting?"
No, that was day 1 because,
Okay.
I mean, that was one of the bits that was on page from day 1,
Mhm.
just because I'm like, "Okay, again, I have an ad executive that's at a daycare. How is this funny? Like, what am I
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do?"
yeah.
And so then I'm just like, "Okay, well," as I'm typing it, I'm like, "Okay, well, she sees Layla inside, so she taps on the glass, and then what? Well, I mean, I know you're not supposed to tap on glass with fish. Wait, there's something there. Like, you're not supposed
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fish, like, they talk about that. So I started doing research. Why aren't you supposed to tap on glass? Because fish have an organ that detects the motion of the water, and so yeah, and so that's when she starts to justify herself, and that bit played over so well when we shot it, and then going through editing that later when we were shooting the convenience store scene,
Mhm.
and the clerk taps on the glass and says, "What you're looking for is right in front of
Right in
you."
front of you, yep.
We were gonna have her say, "You shouldn't tap on the glass," and the clerk was gonna say, "Yeah, you don't wanna disrupt the fish," and then walk away, so she could be like, "See? I'm not the only one, like, I'm
Yeah,
not."
yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, we didn't do that, it didn't play out well, but we thought about it, we thought about
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah, I love that scene, it was so
Yeah.
funny.
We gave Rhiannon what we called her Darth Vader moment. With the lighting, and when she walks away, you can
Mhm.
hear the Darth Vader march, you know what I'm saying? Like, it
Yeah,
plays in
yeah.
your head as she walks because she had that long, I don't know what they're called, but, like, that long overcoat type,
Mm, mhm.
and so, like, it was swaying as she was walking, and it was like, yeah, that's Darth Vader's cape, just she'll lock you down.
And it's I think something in comedy that's so funny is when like, you're in, like, kind of a, like, mundane scenario or something, or, like, maybe a job or, like, someone I mean, like, I just think of, like, librarians, kinda it's just, like, it's a
Mhm.
little it's a little mundane, but then you get someone that just takes the rules and everything so
Serious.
overly the top
Yep.
serious, and it makes it so funny,
Yeah.
and so, like, that was gold.
Yeah, 'cause the way she looks at her, this
Yeah.
isn't a place where people go to meet people. It's like, that's true, it's not like, why would you be at a daycare meeting anybody
Yeah.
if you don't have a kid that goes there? Like, so yeah, no, she did amazing.
So good. And then the next scene I really, really liked was I think it was her 2nd date, I wanna say.
At
Um, say that again? Say that again, sorry?
at the bar, the lip lick.
Yeah, yes, yes, and, like, the focus on his mouth, where it's just like he's licking his
Mhm.
lips, he's, like, drinking, and he's just being a complete douchebag, and it's just like but the focus of his mouth, like, had me dying because it was just
Yep.
like, "Wait, I would not have thought to do that." That's actually so funny because it's like, you're seeing it, like,
Mhm.
you're seeing his over the top, like, just personality, but then it just, like, hyper focuses on that, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's what?"
Right. Yeah, that was another day 1. That was
Yeah.
another day 1, I'm sorry, that was all me.
Wow.
I'm just like, "Look, okay, so dude's gonna roll up on her late. And what's gonna happen?" And then that's where that line, like, "Why you gotta live in the past? Live in the present, focus on the future, our
Yeah,
future."
yeah,
You're just like,
yeah.
"Oh, dude, for real? Like, who talks like that?" I guess this guy does. And so
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, and, so that was Joey Laboda, and
Mhm.
he leaned into that character so
So good,
hard,
so good.
and it was, like, awesome. It was so good, and he drank so much apple and grape juice that day. 'Cause it's just like, "I gotta just toss it back," and, like, that's what he was doing, and it was like, "Oh my god, poor
He just,
guy."
like, takes
Yeah,
her a glass of wine, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, this is, like, the worst date you could be on."
right? He's like, "Double chaser," like, "Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
dude, get outta here."
Schedules, like, a booty call right then too.
Right? Right? You got 35, 45, 35 minutes,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, he just cuts it down.
he's just so bad. Well,
It's
the
just
fact that
like
it was a burner phone, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, he had
The
that
two
was
smartphone.
phone,
so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, see, and so in the original script, he had a pager, right? Because like,
Oh,
at the
that's so
time,
funny.
that was outdated. Well, now, pager would be way outdated,
Mhm.
so let's give him a burner phone instead. And so
That's
that played out so well.
I completely forgot about that because I remember seeing it, and I was like I was like,
Mm,
"Wait, why did they pull out that kind of," like, I was like, "That's crazy," but
yeah,
that's so
So
funny.
funny.
yeah,
But
it's like he
Courtney,
had
you
it
have to you have to
perfect,
respect his confidence though, right?
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and, like, that's the thing too. One thing I learned on this set is, just make sure that the actors are cool with the things and
Mhm.
don't assume that they won't be, because
Mm.
there were a couple different things I like yeah, as a creative, I'm like, I'm not sure if they're gonna wanna do this. Are they gonna be okay? Are they gonna and a couple of them offhand was her spitting the wine or the drink back in the cup.
Uh-huh.
I almost told her not to do it because I didn't think she'd want to. I didn't know if she'd be open to it. Would it play out well? But I let it go because Caitlin's a professional. And in
Mhm.
my opinion, that scene, because she locked in and did what Vanessa would have done, it played out so well. As he's scheduling
Mhm.
his booty call, and she's like, I don't trust this. And she just
Mm.
lets it run
Yeah.
out. Like, she doesn't
Yeah.
spit it out, it just runs out into the
Yeah.
cup. I'm like, that's awesome. That's so good. So,
That
yeah.
was perfect.
uh,
Well, so with a smaller, like, feature film, smaller budget, do you guys have, like, an intimacy coordinator on set as well?
so we did.
Okay.
Um, we reached out to her, Stephanie Schneider,
Mhm.
because we know that she's done intimacy coordination on other films. We know that at the time, I think she was trying to get her certification and
Okay.
had to log X amount of hours on set. And so we had her read the script, and she basically told us, "Look, this is where I'm needed," and that's kind of really it, right? So she was upfront and honest with us,
Mhm.
and so it was really what we call the caught scene at the hotel. That
Mhm.
was the big one. She was there for that the
Yep.
whole time,
Yep.
and then she was there that whole day, so she was also involved with the fight in the stairwell, just because
Mhm.
there was some interactions, like, for lack of a better word, like some touching, but not in a negative way or anything, but I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
when Layla passes out, they gotta catch her, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that
Yep.
kinda stuff. But yeah, we really didn't need her that much in the production because there really wasn't a lot, of that. I mean, that was the biggest thing. So, yeah, we did have an intimacy coordinator on set. That was really important for us to make sure we had. This way
Yep.
everybody felt comfortable, safe, and we were good. And we even told them too, like, what are your thoughts on this, that, or whatever? And if they gave us feedback, being like, you know what, I don't quite feel comfortable doing this, but
Mhm.
I can
Mhm.
definitely do this. And it was like, okay, fine. Like, that's the biggest thing, trust.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
don't be like, "Okay, well, the script calls for this, so we're gonna do this." No, you can always get around it. I mean,
Mhm.
even as something as little as kissing, you can get around it. You don't have to do it.
Yep. Yep.
So,
And honestly, so much filmmaking too, I feel like it's really good when you don't actually do something sometimes. It's, like, more like
Mhm.
there's, like, suggestion and, like, where something's gonna go, but you don't necessarily need to see it.
right. Well, and at the reception, when the glasses clink, they're all sitting at the table at the like,
Mhm.
at the head table, and the glasses clink, and the bride and groom kiss. You don't see them kiss. We had them line up just right so their shadows
Yep.
crossed
Yep.
over. So we didn't need an intimacy coordinator there because there was plenty of distance between them. There wasn't anything inappropriate. There wasn't, that kind of stuff. So like that's a
Mhm.
fun way to like cheat it movie style.
Mhm.
And that's another cheat that we were able to get away with there is because you're so focused on the girls and the women. How many groomsmen did Ward have at the wedding?
Could not tell you.
Because you
I
don't see them at
think
all.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I don't think you even saw them.
No, you focus. I mean, it starts the camera at that scene starts on him and pans down to
Mhm.
the girls. So like, because it doesn't matter. And we were sitting there wondering, do we get three people to just have them be opposite of the girls? And
Mhm.
you don't. Like they were there, they weren't there. Who knows? But
Mhm.
Mhm.
that's one thing we were able to get away from because it wasn't imperative to the story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so then obviously the story then progresses, and then we see the cameo from Kevin, in the convenience store.
Yeah.
And you have, honestly, one of the biggest lines of the movie, in my opinion,
Mhm.
when you're saying what you're looking for is right in front of you. And it's
Hmm.
like I mean, you see it in other movies too, but it's like the eye-opening thing where it's like, I mean, it could be the character brainstorming something or someone else just says something that's seems kinda irrelevant, and you're like, "Wait, hold up." And then you get the twist at the end.
Hmm.
So, was that your only cameo in this movie? Because we were debating this.
So I was sprinkled in.
Okay.
a few
Yeah,
other scenes.
I told you.
It was more so for blocking or filler.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in quite a few.
Okay, man, but okay, but Courtney, were you in
You're wrong.
the wedding scene,
The wedding scene,
of the TV show that she's watching, that Vanessa's watching?
Deep in Carsville?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, see, that's why I told Courtney.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong, you're wrong,
You
I'm
you thought
right,
I
you're
was
right.
you thought I was the pastor?
Yes.
No, that's my brother.
Okay, so there's and then I also thought that you were the main guy, the like,
The twin?
the twin, yeah.
No, no, I was not Beaumont or
Okay,
Paul.
because I was like, "Oh, maybe he's just, like, in different disguises." I don't know.
Right.
I was trying to
No,
figure it out.
no, the fun fact about Beaumont, Wes Worthing, he actually has a twin, but we
Oh,
used Wes to play his own twin in the movie.
Oh, that's funny. That's
see,
super
I knew.
You did know
Well,
that. I feel like mine's a win, though, on the officiant because it is your brother, so I feel like I was more right than you.
Right. Well, and I mean, especially because normally he's bald, and we put that wig on him that
yeah,
totally sold a soap opera Deep in Carsville past.
yeah, yep.
For
So,
sure.
yeah, because I
For
know if you guys do go back and rewatch it, when you see the crowd at the
Yep.
comedy show, if you look, you'll see a bigger guy, bald,
Mhm.
and he looks right at the camera. That's him.
Okay.
So there's
Okay.
an extra there, but because he doesn't have any hair, you don't notice.
Oh,
That's so
interesting.
funny.
Well, so
Mhm.
what was that process like getting the extras? Was it kind of just a similar process of getting everyone else, just putting something out there?
Yeah, because again, we did reach out on, like, the Iowa Film Facebook
Mhm.
groups, and we were just like, "You know what? We need extras for this day," you know, "Food will be provided," this, that, and the other, and then extras would just show up, and then, they have to sign the waivers and whatnot, but
Mhm.
ultimately, it's usually not cast, it's usually crew that's available because
Okay.
once you set up the lights and you got everything going and you're ready to roll, out of 5 grips, you don't need 2 of them. So,
Okay. Yeah,
one will
makes
sit in the
sense.
background and one will go off to the side, or with me being the AD, there
Mhm.
really isn't anything needed for me to do at that moment, so I'll sit in the background and just kinda fill up space.
That's awesome. And so then with the ending of this movie, like I said, you keep it open-ended, which I love because we were talking about there's this TV show called All Her Fault that we've loved and we've talked about it, but it's like our most of our conversation is how much we enjoy it.
Mhm,
It's not like, "Oh, well, what is happening afterwards?"
mhm,
And with this, you left it open-ended where, like, you kind of have an understanding of, like, what's gonna happen, but you don't over explain it. You don't s the next shot isn't them on a date or something. Then again, I don't know. I need to see that very last scene. But
Yeah.
mhm.
what was that like, was that something, like, set in stone from the beginning, or, like, what was that thought process like, for the ending of this film?
I mean, it really was kind of like, this could be the ending because it does not everything has to have a pretty bow on it. I
Mhm,
mean, it was more about her journey and
mhm.
her level, not her level, but her ability of self-discovery, right?
Yep.
She's able to find that like she can take care of herself. Because throughout the movie, she's taking care of the other girls. She doesn't really put herself first.
Mhm.
And, she goes along with their leads and she does what they say and, takes their advice. And when is it just her time for her?
Yeah,
And that's where we're at right now. You know what I mean? At the end of the movie, that's where it is because it might work out.
yeah. Man, this movie was it's so interesting. I mean, it was really funny, but it's also so now just so much more interesting getting to
Mhm,
know more about the film.
mhm.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm just so glad that you guys enjoyed it and like you were invested as viewers to even
Yeah.
after the fact want to like discuss more and talk over it and things like that. So
Well, yeah, when you messaged me and you're like, "You still wanna do the podcast?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, bro. What do you mean?"
I know, for all I know, you guys watch it and you're like, "What is this garbage? No." But how do we tell them no? Be like, lose our number." Like,
No.
Just block.
right? Right.
Well, I mean, like, we had to, well, 'cause we hopped on the phone call, last night, but I mean, I really greatly appreciate that you reached out, and obviously now being able to talk to you is just like, I mean, you wanna support one another, you
Mhm,
know?
Mhm.
Um, and also I had no idea that Iowa, like, you guys had a film festival, like, film was big. I feel like it's like that in most states. I'm so unaware of it. I always just think, like, LA, New York, Atlanta, like,
mhm.
but you forget that, no, people are passionate and they wanna do this everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing too is when I was going through my writing journey, I wasn't sure what was available, and
Mhm,
then all of a sudden, like I re-stumbled upon that podcast that Michael and Brittany Benedict were like Michael Huntington and Brittany Benedict were doing, and I'm just like, okay, this might be it. And so it's just by reaching out and being like,
yeah.
what's going on? And then it just takes off from there. But yeah, Iowa has a very strong film community
Mhm,
because there are several larger cities in Iowa. You tend to find that you have like film families or film groups in
mhm,
those different areas, and every now and then you'll get them together and they'll work together and they'll work on projects and things like that. But there's several festivals that go all around and everything, and, like, with Shut the Box, we ran the Iowa Film Festival circuit, and
mhm.
then I mentioned on the call that Valkyrie
Yep.
International Film Festival out of New York, they celebrate women in film, and because Shut the Box was directed by a woman and it had, 2 females in the cast, they were like, "Yeah, this film made it." So we met their criteria and we made
Mhm.
it into their festival.
Mm.
And then 2 years later, we sent them 5683, and not only did we make it, we won best feature
Yep.
of the festival. So like that was huge. And then Kevin Smith is a huge influence in me as far as comedy, as far as writing, as far as film. And for us to get into the Smodcastle Film Festival, that was huge because like
Yeah.
that's like our audience. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of people that I think would really enjoy this film. But again, you never really know who your audience is gonna be, and through all the festivals, we've had a lot like a wide variety of age in this that have watched it and everything.
Yes. You said
So,
17 to 70, right?
yeah, 17 to, like, mid-70s
That's
because
crazy.
and again, not every joke is for everyone, but in the very beginning, when Adrian tells her, "I need to learn when not to knock." A lot of, like, the older our older viewers loved that, and then you get the other stuff that's a little bit more upfront, in your face, and
Mhm.
the younger crowd liked it. So, yeah, and that's the thing too, is it's like I didn't want to exclude anybody or anything, I just wanted everybody to be able to enjoy the film and ultimately laugh. That's one thing we're missing a lot these days is just
Mhm.
to laugh.
That's a really impressive thing to do because, I mean, when it comes to, like, products and projects, you cannot satisfy everyone.
Mm-mm.
And it's like it's always like, "Okay, well, what's the age range?" And the age range is always like, "Well, 18 to 24, like 25 to 30." And the
Right.
fact that you're satisfying people who are or, like, people are enjoying this movie from the ages of 17 to 70, and you can still,
Mhm.
like, have jokes for both of them
Right.
is, I feel like, a very impressive, thing to have done, so that's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Congrats.
thank you. And that's the thing too, is comedy itself is hard.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about you're gonna do an action movie, if you
Mhm.
blow up enough stuff and have enough muscle, you made a great action movie. Horror. Horror's not easy. It's easier to scare people. If you're like, I'm gonna scare you, you're gonna scare somebody at some point.
Yep.
But for comedy, to be like, you know what, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna laugh. And you're like, okay, make me laugh. Tell me a joke, funny guy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Knock, knock. Like, what do? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
to be able to do this film the way we did it, I mean, yeah, again, Hail Marys, amazing people, cast and crew all around, just phenomenal.
Yeah, especially this day and age when I feel like people have opinions on everything, especially when it comes to comedies, 'cause
Mhm.
we do not make raunchy comedies anymore, I feel like. Like, you rarely see that, and I was saying on the last episode, like, Bridesmaids is one where, like, you see this cast of women, and it's raunchy, and it's funny, and 5683, I felt like delivered that as well. The raunchiness in the comedy and the romance as well, but you also it wasn't, like, super overplayed, it wasn't, like, just, like, this dull comedy that you might see now. and so it
Mhm.
was like like a refreshing, nice little callback to what people I feel like want to see, and it was nice to be able to like see someone write and make something that you're not like scared to write and make this thing, you know?
Mhm.
So it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you when it comes to like making projects now that you've been kind of doing it, do you have any advice for people who are kind of starting out or maybe more in the independent space and not necessarily in the big like Hollywood of things?
Um, the biggest piece of advice I would give, as far as like a screenwriter starting out, is you can't copyright an idea. So don't worry about anybody stealing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you have to get the feedback. You got to get people talking to you about stuff. And if
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, I have this great idea, but I can't tell you, you might take it." They're not gonna do that. And so many people, like there are a lot of writers who will make their money off of writing scripts that get bought to never be
Mhm.
made because it resembles something Hollywood's already doing. So they
Yep.
want to buy it to not get made so they can make theirs freely. So it depends on what kind of writer you wanna be, but yeah, you can't copyright an idea, so don't hold them so tight. Because the more people you talk to, the more diverse your thoughts are gonna be, and the larger audience you're gonna be
Mhm.
able to talk to. Um, and then the next step is, like I said before, just write it. Just get it
Do
down.
it.
Because
Yep.
if it's not down, you can't do anything with it. Um and then just go after it. Just do the necessary research. Once you have your project, then you got to get your team. You got to get the people that are going to be behind you, like you're going to be behind them.
Mhm.
And for me, I'm the writer of the project, but I didn't stop there. I showed up on set. I moved some C stands, right? I'll move things around. I'll get props in place. I'll get crafty ready. Like that's what my role is at that moment. Fine,
Mhm. Mhm.
because otherwise it's not going to get made because you're going to have to pay so many people for crafty. You're going to have to pay so many people for cast and crew and this and that. And one big thing that was important to us with this project was that people get paid because you'll
Yeah.
hear stories
Yep.
that, yeah, I did a no budget film. Okay. So nobody got paid. Nope. Then why do they're not going to want to do that again. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
sure. I mean, you get your actors who can, as long as it's edited correctly, they might be able to piece together a reel that they can show people.
Mhm.
But the person that did all the crew work, that made sure it was lit properly so that actor looks good, what do they have? They're
Yeah.
not doing
Yeah.
it. So it's just like, what can we do? And we had a lot of close friends that, they sacrificed for us. They came to set and they took care of business because they were like, we believe in this project, we have faith in this project, and we want to see it through. So
That's amazing, and it sounds like from what I've found, with research and everything, you've, like, really built, like, a community in Iowa as well.
mhm. Yeah, we have what we call our tribe. So,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? We have, ample equipment. We have our writers, our directors, our cinematographers, producers, crafty, set design. So again, like that's kind of what we want to do. So like you'll have people who want to make a product or a project and they just don't know where to begin. And so, well, where can we help? Because
Yeah.
there's that old adage that if you're waiting for the cavalry's not coming. Well, while you're waiting, we're here. What
Mhm.
can we do? You wanna make something?
Yeah.
So
That's amazing. I was curious when it comes to, like, making a movie, is there anything that, like, is insanely challenging that maybe the regular people and not maybe not regular, but just people who aren't in the industry would not know about? Because I don't think people understand how difficult it is to actually make a movie.
I would honestly have to say all of it. I
Okay.
mean, all of it is so difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about it. So, again, I go back to all the different scenes that we were in the hotel. Yeah, we
Mhm.
were at a hotel for 4 days.
Mhm.
We had food brought in, you know what I mean? It wasn't upscale, it wasn't, high price, but it was food that had to be
Mhm.
brought in. We're working 10, 12-hour days. We have to feed the cast and crew. We
Yeah.
have to put a roof over their head. We have to make sure that they're safe. We have to make sure so much stuff. that you wouldn't even think. You sit down for 2 hours or you sit down for 90 minutes, you laugh a couple times, you enjoy the film, great. It took us 15 days so you could laugh, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't take it for granted, like, this stuff is hard, and doing it on an independent level and being successful, you
Mhm.
start to understand why things take 5 years in the
Yep.
industry.
Yep.
Because they're under so many regulations, and this person has their own representatives and legal team, and they have representatives and legal team, and then you have to have board meetings, and you have to have conferences, and you have to where here, you call up your friends, and you're like, "You wanna make a movie?" And they're like, "I'd love to."
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, "Alright, let's go. Let's get the funding and let's go." And that's what you do. So, I love the idea of independent film for the freedom of what
Okay.
you really have, because we don't answer to anybody,
Mhm.
really, you know what I'm saying? If
Yep.
cast and crew if you take care of everybody, you know what I'm saying? I guess I maybe should preemptively say that because, like you mentioned before, we had an intimacy coordinator. We
Yep.
wanna make sure that everybody is safe, happy, ready to go, and they want to be there, and nobody's doing anything they don't want to do, nobody's being inappropriate, everything is there for the project comes first, that kind of
Mhm.
deal. Then you're going to have a great time, and we don't have to worry about anything happening. I mean, you make sure that you're insured for your locations, for your product, and not products, your equipment and everything like that. Again, you cover everything,
Yeah.
and then you have fun, and you make a great film.
It's crazy how much criticism movies get, and I mean, I'm guilty of it because like, I'll criticize something, but then, like, you just don't think about the amount of work that goes into that.
Hmm.
For even for, like, a 15-minute short film, like, there's still so much that goes into something like that,
Yeah.
but, but you just sat down for 15 minutes, or you just sat down for 90 minutes, and it's so easy to criticize, but like you said, it's just like, no, like, we just spent 2 weeks working on this, 12 hours every single day
Yep.
just for you to sit there and laugh or not laugh or whatever, get some sort of
Right.
reaction. So it is very impressive. I was gonna ask you about the hotel. Like, did you? Because obviously when you guys are scouting locations, when it comes to something like a hotel, are you having to, like, communicate with the hotel, like, "Yo, we're gonna be here for 4 days?"
Yeah, so
Okay.
we lucked out, again, a Hail Mary pass, maybe.
Mhm.
A friend of the crew, it was a manager of the hotel, manager of maintenance. So he spoke to management, talked to them, they were cool with it, and, like, they were even gracious because they were like, "Okay, this is what's happening, so we'll give you these 4 rooms in this wing of the hotel. We won't put anybody around you unless we absolutely have to. We'll
Wow.
let them know what's going on. So they really did kind of seclude us,
Mhm.
and they were really gracious and supportive for that. So, and fun story, I reached out to another hotel and I was like, in the original script, I think it was like the 19th floor is where they got
Mhm.
off on the elevator. And I reached out to a hotel and the hotel was like, we can't help you. We don't have a 19th floor. Sorry. Like that can change. Like it doesn't have to be the
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't actually need to be, yeah.
because they said no because they don't have 19 floors. That kind of became a running joke with the rest of us. Be like, "Oh, what's on the 19th floor? We don't have a 19th
Yeah,
floor."
yeah.
So then it was like, "Oh, they got off on I can't remember what floor she said." And he's like, "There's only 3 floors to the hotel." So that was
That was so
added in
funny.
after the fact. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's
But it
hilarious.
is like, your pre-production will create opportunities
Mhm.
that you just have to lean into and make those jokes.
That just reminded me of the hotel fight scene, and you get Adrian like, just saying the most random things, and you're like,
Right?
"Bro,
So
literally worst timing ever."
Worst timing.
right, she did make a booty call.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like or he did call an attorney for a booty call, and, like,
Yeah.
that was one thing we ran it a couple times, and they were just really quick with it back and forth,
Mhm.
and so I was like, "Can we real quick, can we get a take?" I'm like, "Rachel, just let Landon say it, and then give it a minute. Like, think to yourself, why
Like
are you saying this?'
yeah.
And then say, "What did you just say?" Like, it has to breathe because it's that ridiculous, it's that out
Yeah.
of line, and then he turned around and his then delivery of, "Oh, yeah," and then he calls him, the what was it? The fucking fuckface,
Yeah, yeah.
"You wanna go camping, put the tent away," and, like and the fact that he threw the cushion of the nearby couch.
Yeah.
It was just so good. But yeah, like things like that are just insane how it all plays out. But yeah, like there are certain things where it's like sometimes like you guys are doing great. You're doing awesome.
Mhm.
Let's give it time to breathe because sometimes things move too fast and you can't understand or like live in it with them, I guess, is
Yeah,
one thing
yeah.
I would put it. And I really felt that there were certain things like that we needed to emphasize just to allow the audience to live with them.
Mhm.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. But
So when writing this movie, because like, obviously, like, that scene is so great, but, like, did you ever run into, like, writer's block with this film?
no, I don't think so.
Uh,
Just because I'm a plotter, so it's
okay.
like I know how I want it to end.
Mhm.
So this is where we're gonna begin, and they have to go through and like you said before, like most times movies come up and then they go down.
Yep.
And it's like I wanted it to be a little bit of a roller coaster. So then,
Yeah.
this is gonna play up to like a positive moment, which the next scene will open positive, but something will happen and it comes negative. And
Mhm.
then the next one will open negative, but it'll go positive. Like, how do I do that? So it was a lot of that, but because I kind of like plotted it out, and to be honest, like I cheated the process because she's gonna go on these dates. So those dates are scenes and they have to play out in that order. Otherwise they don't make
Mhm.
sense.
Yep.
And then what happens in between the scenes? And a lot of it was phone calls between her and the girls
Mhm.
that we decided that based on what we had available, we could do after date scenes. So like after the first one, when she gets that SOS text from
Yep.
Olivia, and then it cuts to her in her office and her and Olivia are discussing the date.
Yeah.
Normally, that was like a phone call.
Yeah.
But then that leads to um, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here because now it reminded me of a question I had for you guys. So in the last podcast, you made a comment about how like it's a super raunchy film. It's really, really raunchy. What I set out to do was to give the girls that moment of full disclosure of this is who these women are, and that was the meet the girls scene.
Mhm.
And then I felt that it really wasn't all that raunchy. So it was kind of like for the story, it goes to a plateau of raunchiness. And that if you can get the audience past that, then they're going to enjoy the rest of the ride. And
Oh,
then
okay.
and then we throw in the commercial just to remind them, "Uh-oh, things might get a little intense." And
Yeah.
then, go from there. But yeah, I mean, of course, there were certain innuendos and things like that throughout the movie. But yeah, I was just kind of like, what stood out to you guys towards the end as far as like the raunchiness of it? And it wasn't too much. It was, a good amount, but it was just,
Yeah, I don't think it was too much. Honestly, I think the scene where you're kinda just setting everything up with the girls talking, like, I felt like that carried so much weight
hmm
throughout the film
okay,
because it's a longer scene and, like, it's like you said, it's fully just them, like, unfiltered talking, and
right.
so I think you kinda, like at least for me, I felt like I held on to that scene more so, and then throughout the throughout the film, you're, like, seeing things play out, and you kinda just get reminded of, like, "Oh, yeah, this is what's happening," and then, obviously, in the hotel, it's maybe not, like, raunchy, but it's just like, "Wow, this is wild, that this is the situation that we're in right now." But then I felt like the ending when she actually, like, takes a stand and does, like, what Vanessa should do and, like, instead of, like, helping her friends all the time, kinda ends up doing her own thing, and then I felt like it was a very good, like, lead in to almost, like, more of a calming situation, I guess,
Okay.
if that makes sense. I don't know if that answers your question, but
Mhm. Yeah, no,
I Yeah, I feel like it wasn't raunchy, like, towards the end, but, like, I think I was trying to explain like, one of the opening scenes to Seb when he knocked on the door and she had yogurt all over the side of her head. I thought it was hilarious, and I was like, "Okay, we're in for a ride. We're gonna get some interesting stories in here."
perfect.
And then throughout, it definitely wasn't, but I think it stood out because rom-coms that we see right now don't necessarily have that, so I think that's why, I
Gotcha.
kept using the word raunchy was because, I think I think, Seb, you said this, it feels more like they're romanticizing everything, in other rom-coms that are coming out, whereas
Okay.
this one was more like it was real, it was raw, it was like what's happening, it's what the girls are talking about, it's all of those things, but I think I tied that all in with raunchy too. But I do think, yeah,
Okay.
the end wasn't really, like, it was
Gotcha.
really just the beginning.
I think
Right.
raw is a good word to describe.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like it was raw and real, and then
Yeah,
Mhm.
you just enjoy the ride from there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I we have some other questions here that we'd like to kinda just, like as, like, a wrap up,
Yeah.
not necessarily about the movie necessarily, but well, one, I'm just curious because I'm a huge movie go to the theater guy,
Mhm.
and so I'm curious as someone who is actually making it, doing it, what are your thoughts on movie theaters?
I love them. I absolutely
Okay.
love 'em. I love the experience. Um, yeah, and then that's the thing too is it's like it was really important for me as a filmmaker with this project and the rest of the team that everybody involved got to see it on the big screen before anybody
Yes.
else. Sure, certain people, their life might not allow for a theater, so if they have to stream it at home, they have to watch it on their phone. I'm not like a snob to where like you can't do that. Like watching on your phone takes it away from it might not be available to you. Like in the
Mhm.
theater might not be your thing. And as long as you're watching movies and you're having fun and you're enjoying a good jump scare or you're laughing or you really enjoy those special effects, keep doing it. Like, yeah. But no, I really enjoy the theater and my wife and I we actually got that annual membership to like the local theater. So like
Mm,
you get one free pass a month. And then
okay.
our theater does mystery movies every once in a while.
Oh, that's amazing.
And if you're a member, you get the mystery movie for free. You get a voucher, so you
Wow.
have to go in and redeem it, and then you can watch it for free. So you get all these free movies. So like it pays for itself. Or
Mhm.
for us, it paid for itself within like 3 months because I think in 1 month we went to like 4 different mystery movies
That's
that were all
amazing.
free. So
Any good surprises there with the mystery movies?
um the Nobody, I think Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. No,
Okay.
Nowhere. Was it Nowhere?
Nowhere, nowhere. I
Yeah,
don't know
because
if I've seen that.
he did Nobody, and then he did a new one where he was like a temporary police chief. I think it was called
Okay.
Nowhere. I can't
Okay.
remember. That one was really, really good. We just watched that. Is it Gail Daughtry? We saw
Yeah, yeah, Gail
at
I
the
was just
mystery
talking about
movie.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but and it was funny too because I was talking to the wife and I was like, "You guys, it was your review, not a review per se, but it was you guys talking about um." Oh, Office Romance.
Mhm.
That's what came across my feed on TikTok, and I'm like, "Oh, I love their vibe." I'm like, "I bet they would like 5683." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Even if they didn't, no, they're gonna yeah, their vibe is awesome. Like, they're gonna really like the movie. They have to like this movie." So, yeah, because that was the
That's
one I'm like, "You
awesome.
know what? If they're gonna watch that movie, then they
Mhm.
gotta give 5683 a try. They just gotta give it a shot."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 5683 was 100% better than The Office
Right.
Romance.
That's
For
awesome.
sure. I know, yeah,
But
Seb called me and he was, like, telling me about your first message in the movie, and I was like, "Well, what's it about? Like, tell me what the movie is." And he was like, "It's a rom-com," and I was like, "Alright, I'm in. That's all you had to
okay.
say. I'm in."
Yeah.
That's awesome. And there is that new movie too, Finding Emily, that is all over social media and
Finding
stuff.
Oh.
And it's similar to the premise, but like this guy, he like meets this girl and her name's Emily, and that's all he knows. And so like then he's trying
Oh,
to find
yes, it's
her.
a college dude,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's a
Yes, yes.
so that's the thing too, is I'm like, you know what? Like that's like the for me, that was a perfect example of movies are very, very similar. So like you can't
Yep.
copyright an idea, but it's all about the delivery. It's all about what
Mhm.
Mhm.
happens in what order and when. And that's the biggest thing. So yeah, hearing that that's come out now, and I'm like, oh, I got to see that too. Because if that
Yes.
had come out before 5683, I would have watched that to know what I needed to change in my movie.
Mhm,
So
Mm.
mhm.
yeah, that's one thing too that's really big for me is if I'm working on a project, I'll watch other movies to see what's similar and make sure mine is nothing like that.
Yeah, because I think it's important to just not have, like, a copy and paste type of
Mhm.
thing. Because I think that's what I think that's probably why, like, Backrooms and Obsession has been doing so well because
Yep.
it's like it's we haven't really seen it before. There's obviously, like, inspiration from things, but
Right.
it's like it's not just a carbon copy and paste, and
Well,
so many rom-coms are like that,
right.
and which is why I appreciate 5683 so much more because
Yep.
it wasn't just a carbon copy.
Right, we have those nuances, of that tell you you're watching a rom-com, but with a new
Yes.
take and a new direction and a little bit of a spin, which is again the nostalgic approach.
Yep. Yep.
But Backrooms and Obsession, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of jump-started that funding because they started little YouTube shorts and they
Mhm.
got their audience and built it up that way.
Yep.
And then that led to because I think and that's the thing too. So in all honesty, you look at 5683, right? You watched it from start to finish and you both
Mhm.
watched Obsession, right? So you've
Yep.
seen that start to
Not
finish.
yet.
Not
I'm
yet?
still
No,
I'm
Okay.
she
still
hasn't seen
Well,
it.
waiting.
I mean, you've seen the trailers, you've seen, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? You know what it looks like.
You've seen the
Mhm.
videos I've sent you.
Right.
Yeah.
Obsession was made for what, $750,000?
Mhm.
5683 was 15K estimated.
Damn. That's
Yeah,
Paranormal Activity,
right?
budget.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, we didn't do a Paranormal Activity, we didn't do a Blair Witch type horror, we did a rom-com that
Way
follows
more
4
difficult
movies.
too.
Yeah, like, it's so much more and not that those movies aren't good, not that I'm not saying that at all, I'm
Yeah.
saying you put it in perspective, this
Yeah.
is a good example of what love for film can do these
Mhm.
days.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And I was gonna say I was thinking about this earlier today. I was like, there's so many people that wanna make horror movies, including myself. But I'm like, out of all the genres, I was thinking like, man, what's the hardest thing? Like, what's the easiest? And I was watching some video, some guy was like, here's some notable other YouTubers who are making movies that are not horror. And I was
mhm,
like, that is I think horror is probably the easiest because, like you were saying earlier, it's easy to scare someone. Eventually, you're gonna scare someone. But to
mhm,
make a comedy and make everyone laugh or get a wide range of people to laugh is so difficult, and then you add a budget that is not $750,000
right.
is wild.
Yeah.
And so it's I feel like it's arguably way more difficult than making, like, a horror or something like Obsession.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree too, and that's the thing, a lot of people, the gateway into filmmaking is either either music videos or horror movies, and
Yeah,
horror movies are because they're really, really cheap to make, and they can have the bigger payoff, and everybody's always looking for horror,
yeah.
right? There's a larger audience for horror. And that's just the way it is. Like there's no way around it. And when I
Mhm.
said earlier that like I'll do research on certain topics and like if I hear one thing here, one thing there, the one constant about being successful in film is make a horror.
Wow, okay. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Kevin, before we move on to these last we kind of have a little game here that we wanna play, just some
Okay.
questions. But before we move on, is there anything else with 5683 that maybe, like, we didn't cover or that you wanted to cover or questions that you had for us that you'd like to cover before we move on?
I can't think of any.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, I can talk about the movie all day.
Oh, I
Like,
can tell yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
right.
So this game, I'm basically just gonna ask you some questions. It's called Lights, Camera, Rapid Fire. So I'm just gonna ask you a question and just whatever comes in my mind, whatever comes to your mind. And in this exclude like if I like so the first question is I'm gonna ask you what your favorite movie is.
Okay.
Exclude anything that you've been a part of or you've made.
Right. Sure. Sure.
Okay. So favorite movie of all time.
Back to the Future.
That is such an elite poll.
I
I
mean,
l-
I can't get
oh
around
my
it.
god.
When that's on, no matter where it's at, I'm watching it. If I
Mm.
don't have anything to watch, I'm putting it in, at night. Like, I stumbled across this website, which is listentoamovie.com. So you just pull it up on your phone and it plays it'll just play the audio to movies, and I'll listen to that, and I'll fall asleep. Like
Oh my goodness, that's amazing because
yeah.
I've literally told Courtney that that is arguably the best trilogy of all time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't think it
Um,
tops everything for me, but it is so high up there, and I recently saw that movie in theaters, and I was like, "Yeah, God, this is how you're supposed
yeah.
to watch it."
Yep.
Oh my god, I love that po okay, that was great. Favorite rom-com?
Ooh. Um Why am I drawing a blank? Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl.
Oh, is it like the is
Knocked
it
Up.
not again, another good pull.
Knocked
These
Up.
are
Um,
good.
it's such a funny movie. hardest part of filmmaking is?
All of it. I mean,
Okay, I was gonna
yeah. No, I mean, I would honestly say, like, because for me, it's not necessarily, but I would say the team, like getting your team together,
Mhm,
because anybody can write a story, anybody can write a script, but if you don't have the team to make it, it's not going anywhere.
mhm.
And so even if you're going to do it yourself, you're still going to need a team to help you in pre-production. You're still going to need a team to help put it together. You're still going to need a team for post-production. So that's the hardest thing, is finding your team.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so important, so
Mm.
important. Um, favorite actor/actress? slash actress?
It's Michael J. Fox.
Okay,
My
yeah,
actor.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is, he's my favorite of all time. But one that, like, I kinda, I grew up watching the whole time, was Robert Downey Jr. Would
Mhm.
be, like, my favorite actor of all time, and then favorite actress of all time would have to be Sandra Bullock.
Mm,
She
So,
is so good.
yeah.
Have you
so
seen The
good.
Heat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
with
god.
her and, Melissa McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Are you
So
not a
funny.
knock?
Right. Yeah. So
So
funny.
good. A movie everyone should watch once is?
Oh, see, I don't wanna be cliche and go like Schindler's List. I wanna do something fun,
Yeah,
but, I
yeah.
mean, there's so many. Okay, Little Shop of Horrors.
Little
Everybody
Shop
should
of
watch
Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Just writing that down.
Yeah, with Rick Moranis.
Okay. I've heard of this movie, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's an old one. It's a musical. It's so fun. It's so
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite movie villain?
Oh. Mm. Tyler Durden, Fight Club.
Yeah. So good. I recently watched that movie in theaters, and, like, AMC has, like, this fun little they had, like, some sort of teaser with it, and then, like, even Letterboxd has a thing where, like, you can't talk about it or something like that.
Right.
Mm.
It's so
Yep.
funny.
Yep.
Um, my dream collaboration would be
Dead or Alive?
yep,
John Hughes. John
okay.
Hughes was pivotal in the '80s, and, I mean, I'm growing up, I'm super young, and I'm watching Breakfast Club, and I'm
Mhm.
seeing 5 kids in a room, and how are they gonna make it for the whole day? And
Yeah.
the way he did it, in my opinion, was just great. And, because what he did Home Alone, right?
Mhm.
He's part of Home Alone, like,
So
that
good.
was just great. So, no, he's just got, and Uncle Buck. Oh,
Oh my god.
there's so much John Hughes, and I guess I don't know how much, like, did that influence my writing or anything like that. Collaboration of somebody alive would have to be Kevin Smith. Um,
Okay, okay.
we met him on the Clerks 3 tour, and,
Mhm.
like, so he had to pay extra for a meet and greet. Just an amazing guy. And then when we got in the Smod Castle Cinema, we ran into him on the street. And
Wow.
he remembered me, and it's like,
Wow.
he's the same guy. So, like, he doesn't change, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like
Yeah.
the guy you meet on the street is different than the guy you paid to meet. Like, no,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
all around great guy, and he's just super funny. And, like, that's kind of where, like, the first scene, that was a little bit of, influence for the first scene
Mhm.
of 5683, and then obviously the clerk scene was
Mhm.
influenced by him as well.
Man, I love Uncle Buck. John
Oh,
Candy.
yep.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yep. Yep.
So good.
John Candy just, I Like Me. Like, that's just, and, like,
That
that's what they titled his, biography,
documentary,
his documentary, yeah.
yeah.
And that line just hits so hard because
Oh
he's
my
just like,
god.
"You wanna tear me down, you wanna make fun of me, that's fine. You don't like me, that's fine. I
Yeah,
like
I
me." And
like
he's like,
me.
those are words everybody needs to say to
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Courtney, I highly recommend watching I Like Me, the documentary. It's
it was so
really
Yeah.
good.
funny.
It's sad. I mean, Catherine O'Hara's in it too, who's passed, which is so
Yeah.
unfortunate. It is really outstanding.
I'm gonna put it
Um,
on the list.
yes. Favorite movie quote out
I
of the millions?
Yeah, I don't know. That one right there, "I don't know, Margot." I say that all the time. It's like, "I don't know, Margot." So, things that happen to me in life are either movie quotes or songs. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's just whatever
Mhm.
it is, but I wanna say there's more. I recently realized that a lot of what I say is influenced by Jim Carrey.
Oh my
Um,
god, he's
just different Jim Carrey movies that I watch. Um,
He's my comfort actor to watch.
yeah.
All
Mhm.
his movies. Like, The Truman Show is a comfort movie for me, which is crazy, but
That is
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, and again, to date myself, my beard's already doing it, but the movie Once Bitten came out in the late '80s. He plays a victim. It's a vampire comedy.
Hmm.
okay.
So yeah, Once Bitten. Look that up, give that a watch. It's so good. And yeah, so good. But even like with him going back to Earth Girls Are Easy, if you guys have know anything about that,
Nope.
oh, you want to go back to some weird '80s comedies like that.
Okay.
That was good. It's
Okay, I
got
have to check that
him,
out.
Damon Wayans,
Oh, wow.
Jeff Goldblum, Gina
Oh, wow.
Davis.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good cast from back then.
That's amazing. Have you seen, The Cable Guy?
Oh yes.
Yeah, classic.
Well, let me now say that in my own home personal collection,
Mhm.
the number of movie titles I have has reached over 3,000.
Oh my gosh.
I have
Oh my god.
3,000 physical movies.
So do
Yeah.
you just have, like it's just like a library kinda thing? I'm guessing it's in this room that you're in right now?
Yeah, I have
Okay. Yeah.
over there
Uh-huh.
over there, I have 3 towers, and over there, I have a big wardrobe that's stacked shelf on shelf in shelf, like yeah.
Yeah.
They're
That's
buried. I'm
crazy.
waiting to like, this whole wall behind me, I wanna
Uh-huh.
just build a continuous shelf. So, like, 'cause like, right in front of me here is stairs that come down to my basement
Mhm.
here, and this whole wall, I just want it to be as soon as you enter in, it's just movies.
Man,
That's so cool.
when I have, like, a bigger place, I need to do that because right now, I don't have space to collect all that.
Right? Well, and so real quick, so on one of Kevin Smith's evenings with Kevin Smith, where he goes around and he does
Mhm.
Q and A's and tells stories and things, he made a comment about somebody giving him grief for something about having physical media, and he's like, "Listen, if I'm in a car accident and I'm
Mhm.
laid up in bed and I want to watch the movie Joanna Man, which is about a guy playing in the WNBA, he's like, if I want to watch Joanna Man, I'm gonna watch Joanna Man."
Yeah.
That's me. So, I own the movie, it's in my collection, and I own over 3,000 other movies. So, yeah, like, I live by that. If I'm bedridden and I wanna watch a movie, I'm not gonna let, what is it, the contracts cancel.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna have that removed, and topical with what Sony is doing.
Mhm.
Like, they're getting rid of people's movie collections that they paid digital copies for.
That's insane.
Yeah, but it's because they don't have the rights to it anymore. They're gonna lose the whatever it is, so nope, physical media 110%. I'm more physical media than I am theaters.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta own the movies. You have to own it, otherwise you never will.
And also, it's like, the one of the main problems I run into all the time, it's like, "I wanna watch this movie." "Oh, it's nowhere. I can't." I have to rent it?" Well,
Mhm,
damn, I don't wanna do that. If
right.
you own it already, like, you have the CD or the disc, it's like, "Alright,
Yep,
you're good to go."
yep.
Man, okay, well, actually, how many movies well, okay, wait, how do I word this question? How many movies do you watch, would you say, like, on average, like, in a month or something maybe?
I mean, I would say at least one every other day, right? If
Okay,
it's
wow.
not, I'm watching one every day. When things come out on streaming, I'm quick to watch it because I think like what
Mhm,
tomorrow, The Hawk comes out, so
mhm.
I'm gonna watch that for sure. Jimmy Tatro is amazing.
I love Jimmy Tatro.
Big fan, big fan.
Huge fan.
Yeah, like, the way they put him in the beginning of Scream 7 and then
Yep.
him playing the young Bert in The Machine.
Mhm.
Oh, come on now. So, yeah, no, he's yeah, I'm a big fan of his work. So, I'll watch him on streaming almost when they come out, and
Mhm.
then, like I said, if I'm not watching something, I'm listening to something.
Yep.
He's like,
Yep.
I'm not one that can go to bed in silence, I have to be listening to something.
Yep.
So, whether it's a stand-up comedy or it's just the audio of a movie, that's what I'll do, so, yep.
That's amazing. I
This is a huge debate of ours, though. When you're watching a movie, do you watch it all the way through? Or do you watch 30 minutes, go do something, come back and finish it?
Who's doing that? Nobody
This
does it.
one,
I
that
do that.
one.
No.
Isn't that
No.
crazy? I'm like, "Ho
Same.
like, that's not how you're supposed to watch a movie."
It's be
No.
it's because it's like, if I'm working or something, I'm like, "Okay, well, I have 30 minutes to, like, eat. I'll start this movie, get 30 minutes in, come home, eat, watch it again,
Oh.
and then if I have time, finish it off in the night," but then it's like I'm doing other things, but that's why I'm such a big, like, advocate for going to the theater because then you can actually just lock in for 2 hours or something,
But are you
but
also the type of person where it's like a 2-hour movie is too much of a commitment, but you'll watch 15 hours of a TV series, you'll binge 15 hours in a row?
That's me.
that's her.
That's
No,
you?
because I'm not good at watching TV because
Gotcha.
I would just love movies so much more. So, like,
Right.
I'm very good about locking in. It's just, like, throughout my day, I don't usually have a lot of time to, like, sit there for 2 hours, and so I end up, like, kinda breaking it apart, and I'm like, as long as I'm getting there and if a movie's, like, insanely good, then I'll sit down or whatever, but it's usually I'm not watching, like, like Shawshank Redemption, like, it doesn't need, like, my full attention throughout the day. If I'm doing something like that, then I'm gonna sit down and actually watch it, but, yes, I do tend to break the movie apart,
Right.
which is crazy,
Crazy.
I guess.
Crazy.
Um,
I'm like, at that
I
point, watch
don't
a TV show.
right.
Like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't approve of your watching films at
that's
midnight.
fair, that's fair.
Stay up a little later, and then go to bed. Like
yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, this is the first person besides her that's told me this, so that's good to know. Um, Favorite movie theater snack?
Mm, trolleys.
What is it?
Those,
Oh, yes,
sweet
yes, yes,
sour
yes.
gummy worms.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they're
Um,
pretty important. We have them on set too, so they're very important.
man.
So, yeah.
One movie I wish I had written is
Oh, no, no, I'm not gonna okay, fine. You guys, are you gonna buckle in? Are you ready for this?
yeah, let's hear it.
Alright, I'm gonna get heat later, but years ago, me and the family, I went to
Mhm.
Disneyland with me and the family down in Florida, and I say me and the family, I mean, my parents were there, my sister and her family my 2 sisters and their family were there, my whole family was there, right? My wife and kids, we're all there, and we're in line at I'm not even gonna know the name of the ride, the boat ride,
Pirates of the Caribbean?
no, the other one, oh, what was it called? See, I honestly shut this out of my mind because
Splash
Uh-huh.
we
Mountain?
no, we go on this ride, you'll know in a second, but we go on this ride and we're done, and I'm like, "You know what? The way they set this up, you could make a movie off of this." And as we're walking around the park, I'm talking to my wife about it, and she's like, "Would you just stop? It's a dumb idea. No one's ever gonna make this movie." Enter the movie with Rock and what's her face? Uh, was
Jumanji?
no, see, I can't even remember the name of the ride. No, it's John Krasinski's wife and The
Oh,
Rock.
The Smashing Machine?
No, 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 no. No, it was the one before that. They did a lot of movies together. I'm not helping you out. All right, give me a second. I hope going on
It's
my
Emily
phone.
Blunt in The Rock.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
movie
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
Yep. I'm so mad at myself right now. So if anybody else is watching this and they're screaming it out loud,
Jungle Cruise?
yes, Jungle Cruise. Yes.
Oh.
So we went on the ride, and I'm sitting there talking about all these things. This could be a movie, and like she needs somebody to help her get through this, and he can control the boat, blah blah blah. Like you know what I mean, like that kind of typical movie. And no, it's dumb. It'll never happen. And oh, guess what happened? So you know what else happens? Disney has cameras all over their amusement parks. I've never watched I'm not saying that they did. I'm not saying they did. But do they have cameras? Yes, they do. Could they have heard me? Yes, they could have. I'm just saying.
Damn, that's a deep
Right?
cut. That's
That's
crazy.
conspiracy theory, but yeah, I blocked it out. I've never seen that movie. To this day, I've never seen it because I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Because if I
I'm
Yeah.
sh
watch it, yeah, imagine if I watch it and one thing is like, yeah, I told him that. Like I'm gonna you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
my
ah,
god.
yeah. No, so I can yeah,
You're probably
but
sitting there like, "I could write that better. I would've done that
maybe,
different."
maybe. Yeah, that's a curse too, is, just watching the movies and being like, "Oh, they coulda done that, they coulda done
Mhm,
that." So, but again, I mean, you're not really gonna find me having, like, a negative review on a movie, and
mhm.
not just because I went through it, but it's just like, I mean, it's a huge feat to get through,
Yeah, yeah.
and, they did it, so But yeah, that would have to be the
Wow.
closest thing. I can't think of anything that it's like, "Oh, I wish I would've wrote it." No, not at
I can understand the frustration for that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that I was gonna say, there's a movie out right now. Actually, I don't know if it's in theaters anymore, but it's called Power Ballad with
Mm,
Paul
yeah,
Rudd
Paul
and
Rudd,
Nick Jonas.
yep.
That kinda reminds me of what you're saying right now.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
so I recommend it. It's very good.
yeah, I do wanna see that for sure.
And then the last question here is favorite genre to write?
Oh. I mean, I would have to just go with comedy just
Mhm.
because it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like I can find it almost anywhere. And for me, the joke line works, the sarcastic line works, the horror line works.
Mhm.
Because when I'm writing and I don't know what the individual is gonna say, I'm like, okay, I need to say this line 5 different ways. And then I just
Yeah.
see which one sounds best, and oftentimes it does lean towards the comedy, but I will say, if you're into watching just random short films, if you're not committed to 2 hours, Shut the Box is 16 minutes, and again, that's like a suspense thriller.
Mhm.
If you go on the website and you watch Chinese food in a movie, it was a holiday film,
Okay.
and it was a drama is what I would classify it as, and there is a scene in there that to this day, I watch it and I get chills, and I wrote it, you know what I mean? And so it's like,
Mhm.
okay. And
Like,
even
damn, I'm
in
good.
yeah, like, and that's when you know you're onto something, like, if
Uh-huh.
I write something and I'm laughing as I write it, yeah, I'm onto something. There's a couple projects where I had to create a character that is just supposed to be, like, horrible.
Mhm.
And when I like, after I wrote it, I had to walk away from my desk because I hated that person so
Wow.
much. But I knew I was onto something because it's like they have to say that thing. They have to
Mhm.
do that thing. If people don't hate them, then they're not doing the story justice. And so,
Yeah.
like, they need to be like that. But yeah, if you can make yourself laugh writing a comedy, I still have yet to make myself cry writing a drama, but
Mm.
I've made myself angry. I've almost scared myself. So, I mean, I don't know what that says about it, but it could be kinda scary.
Yeah. Well, I also think with crying, like, there's so much emotion with sound and
Mhm.
music. So, like,
Right.
being able to write something and not cry, I can totally understand how that might be more difficult.
Right. Have you guys seen some of those TikToks where it says music says it all and it's like a scene from a horror movie and they're like playing like a hoedown song or something like
Yep, yep.
and it's just hilarious because it's not the same thing. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
like, how I'll have to watch the scary movies, like,
just the
I'll watch
silence.
it, but put on
Right.
different playlist in the
Yeah,
background.
obsession will not hit that hard if you can't hear anything.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's like or I was seeing TikToks of, like, the TV show Friends without the laugh track, or,
Mhm.
like, sound to make it sound like a horror TV show, and it's like, wow,
Mhm.
this changes the vibe so much more.
Yep.
Well, Kevin, that is kind of everything. We've kept you here for quite a long time, so I really, really appreciate you joining Overshared today. But I'm just curious because I know you're working on a lot of stuff, and so just is there anything that you'd like to shout out, or like what's coming that you can talk about projects?
I mean, and I mean, there's not anything in the near future. There is
Hmm.
a take on the werewolf theory or werewolf
Oh wow.
genre, if you will. And this individual wants to write it, but he wants it to be a little bit of a dark comedy. And
Okay.
so he tapped me, and so I think I'm a good fit. I think we're gonna
Hmm.
have a lot of fun. So I'm working on that. Um, and then just out of curiosity for you guys too, if somebody said that a sequel to 5683 might be in the works, what are your thoughts? Is it something you'd be intrigued about? Is it something
I feel like I'd need no more information.
right?
I feel
Okay.
like I feel like I would need a better understanding of like what, like, possibly the storyline would be, and then I'd be more open for it. But I think in general, like, I've always told Courtney this, like, and, like, if you go back and listen to the podcast and the
Mhm.
3-hour episodes that we have, you might find it, but I, like, selfishly love sequels and prequels and, like, the second movie or whatever
Mhm.
because I'm always so intrigued at, like, what they're gonna do next,
Right.
because I want the answer I want the question answered,
Right.
even though sometimes I don't, but I know I do at the same time. So
Right.
selfishly, I'd say yes, but it's like, if the script is good and, like, if it makes sense, then go for it, I think.
Okay.
But
So
again, like, I was so hyped about Gladiator 2, and then when it came out, I was kinda like, "Nah, they
right.
probably didn't need to do that." But, like, obviously I wanted it, so
I feel like with movies and stuff, like, sometimes I just have mixed feelings about
Mhm.
sequels and sorry, my fridge is opening. Um, so I just have mixed feelings because I feel like if it's good and there's, like, room for the imagination, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I feel like it's similar for me, like, if I were to read a book and then watch the movie that's based off the book. I already
Mhm.
had characters in my mind or how I
Right.
wanted it to go in my mind, and then seeing
Right.
it, sometimes it's a letdown. And so,
Mhm.
like, I'm just, like, always hesitant about sequels, but at the same time, I always watch them because I typically do want more,
Mhm.
especially if I like the movie. So I just have mixed feelings, but I feel like there's a lot of different directions that you could go with it, so it would be kinda fun.
Mhm.
I
So
would 100% watch it if you did another one, though.
Mhm.
okay. So right now it is in the works because
Oh, shit, okay.
from all the festivals and things like that, people are like, "Well, where are they now? What's going on now?" And so it's like, "Okay, let's give the audience what they want." And, like,
Mhm.
me personally, I'm not big on sequels. At the
Mhm,
same time, I see it as a writer as a challenge. Can I make a good sequel?
mhm,
And I kind of, in my opinion, I kind of already did with We're Still the Millers.
mhm,
And so this time I'm gonna, yeah, I can do it now, but like I own this property, right? Like this story,
Mhm.
these characters, this whole, and with it already being done, we already have the first one in the tank. It's like, could funding be a little bit easier for us? Because now it's like, if you give us your money, we're gonna do this again, like that kind
Mhm.
of
yes.
thing. But the challenge is how do you tell the sequel without completely like retelling or like
Mhm,
starting over or whatever. And I will say, when I did pitch my idea for the sequel to my friend Adrian, who has read every word I've put on paper,
uh-huh.
his response was, "When you first called me, I didn't know what you were talking about. And now I know that this is a sequel I never knew I needed."
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
So, so
See, I
yeah,
think those are the good type, is, like, that you didn't
yeah,
know you needed. It's, like, not what you're like, I don't know, there's just an added feature to it then. It makes
right.
it more.
Yep. So, I mean, and that's the thing too, is it's like we're still gonna follow the 4 girls, they're not going anywhere, you know? So, some of them are out in California, we're gonna have to bring them back to Iowa for a couple days to shoot.
Mhm,
But I've reached out to to the people, from the original that I would need to tell the story that I wanna tell, and they're all on board. So, they're all excited and they're all ready to go. So, right now I'm over halfway done with the script, so I just
oh,
need to
wow.
fine tune and get the rest of it done. We have, like, the traditional passing of the torch. So, the way it's done is creative, in my opinion, so
Mhm,
I can't wait to see it happen. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, but that is one thing I am working on. So, again, kinda mixed reviews on whether it is needed or not, or, I'm sitting here saying that Hollywood is not giving original stories enough focus, and now I'm gonna
mhm.
write a sequel to my own original story. But you do what you gotta do. So
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
so yeah.
I feel like the good thing too is, like, sequels never, at least for me, they never change my opinion on the original. Like,
Mhm.
it never makes me like it any less, and so it's like, why not? Like, if you have a good
Right.
idea, it's like your advice, just do it. Like,
Yep.
just run with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
So yeah, as of right now, like that's all I really got going on. I'm working on 2 different projects at the moment and just kind of bouncing back and forth depending on what the mood is for me in my writing mind and just kind of running through it. But then, at the same time you come across those ideas and it's just kind of like, what is a story that's familiar to everybody,
Mhm,
but you have a unique take on it? And I
mhm,
do have one of that too. I haven't really gone through like the pre-product like the writing aspect of it, but I have it all plotted out and everything like that, and I think it is a good story that's really gonna take off.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just there's always something. There's always
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
but nothing directly in the pipeline or anything. Some of the team are doing other projects and stuff like that now, so there are certain things that we would always do that we're not doing this year and stuff like that. So, yeah, but that's where I'm at.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I think again, I am excited, and I would love to watch it once it does come out, and you guys are doing everything, and even if
We
you have some
will
behind the
watch
scenes,
it.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and you guys will have to reach out after you watch 5683 a second time and just be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, oh my god,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what I found." Like, yeah, let me know.
Now I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm really excited to watch it again, honestly.
Yeah. No, that's
Well,
awesome. Thank you guys so much for
Kevin,
having me on. I appreciate it. This was
thank
a
you
great
so much
opportunity.
for reaching out as well. Guys,
Yeah,
go check out 5683 again, romantic comedy written and produced by Kevin Shepard. It's on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Fandango, Zumo Play, and YouTube. I'll link it below also with your DoJoLo Films. And then also I'll link your Instagram or whatever. I'll text you and we can kind of figure out that.
Okay.
But then again, Kevin, thank you so much for reaching out, and I really appreciate it. I feel like we've taken so much of your time, but I really, really greatly appreciate you coming on, and just giving us a behind the scenes look at your movie.
Of course. Thank you again for having me. It's been a blast.
Well, that was a
wait,
very, very long conversation that I honestly I thought it was gonna end up being like an hour, just because I was like, "Oh, I don't wanna take too much of Kevin's time," and, like, an hour in, I was like, "We're not even done with, like, the first point I had here for the notes." I was like, "We're not even close to being done." Um
no, I know.
But I
Honestly, I'm
really
so
love that.
freaking pumped, like, that was so fun, that was so cool.
That was
I just
amazing.
feel like Kevin was the most perfect, like, first true
Dude,
guest. Like, that was so fun.
I'm like I'm like, I feel like I'm high or something, like, I
No,
just have,
I
like,
was
a
literally
high
just
right
gonna say,
now.
like, I feel like I'm on a high. Like, that was just, like, crazy and, like, oh, I just think it's so cool, and I just think, like, all of his advice was so good, and just learning about it was so fun. I don't know. I'm just like, that was crazy. That was so
And
fun.
I just loved seeing, like, his passion because you can
Mhm.
tell, I mean, he can recount, like, literally everything from the movie,
Yeah.
and, like,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to remember everything, but and obviously he's on set and everything, he wrote it, but just, like, seeing him talk about it, it's like because it's crazy how hard it is to make a movie, and then, like, he's so c close and connected to it, and I was like, you can just truly see the passion for this movie and, like, filmmaking
Mhm.
and everything, and, um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
there's just, like,
freaking loved this conversation.
so much that you just, like, don't take into consideration.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it made me appreciate movies more, and I'm not even,
Mhm.
like, a huge movie person, but it, like, literally made me be like, "You're right, like, I need to go buy movies right now." Like,
I know, it makes me wanna start collecting because 'cause
I'm
I'm
like,
like
"Oh my god,"
yeah.
like, and that's, like, how you know when someone is so, so passionate is, like, just by talking to them, it makes
Mhm.
you then wanna go do that too, like,
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, that was just so cool, that was so fun.
And
I just can't believe it, like, I don't know, it just I
it's
don't
it's
know.
crazy, it just started from last week. He
Yeah,
just message requests me on Tik or us on TikTok. I happened to see it because I kept telling him, like, I'm not good at checking messages on,
yeah,
like, literally anything besides text,
yeah.
and then I told him, like, to reach out to me over Instagram, which I was like, "Is that a douchey thing to say?" But I was like, "I'll actually check it," and then he followed me, and then we talked, and then we set this up, and I was like, "Damn, we did all this so quickly."
So quickly.
Um
Well, and I feel like with some things like that too, like, you never I feel like right, like, we never know some of these messages we might get, like, "Okay, who actually is this?" or
Yeah,
whatever, or, like, "Is this actually gonna pan out? Did they actually make a like, you just, like, question it when it's on social media, you just never
yeah,
know for sure, and so the fact that, like, yeah, it panned out so quickly and it just went better than I don't even know, and, like, I'm so excited to watch the movie again. I know we
I
just talked
know.
about that, but I'm like, "Wait, this is so cool." Like, just knowing everything. I don't know, I'm just like, "Ah, this is so good."
And it was funny because when we first got it when we first started talking to him, you were, like, getting nervous, and I was like, Yeah, we're gonna kill it's gonna be like Sean Evans on Hot Ones, like, we're it's about to be a hell of fire, um, pun intended. But then, like, right before we started, like, I started to get nervous.
Oh, dude, I was like, "Bro, like, this isn't you're not allowed to do that." Like,
No, dude, honestly, I was thinking about just cutting, like, the whole beginning thing of us because I was like, I think I'm gonna cut around it because I was like, I'm clearly so not locked in this moment because
no,
I
you're
just kept
not.
looking at my notes because I was trying to I really wanted to memorize the introduction, and then I just didn't have time to memorize it, so, like, I ended up just reading it, and because I didn't
No.
wanna come across as me reading.
No, I
Um,
just think it went so well. I just think it was so fun. I learned so much. I'm stoked about it. I think it's funny to keep the intro because it showed I
yeah,
don't know,
I'm probably gonna keep it, but yeah, because I try
it
not to
does.
cut too much,
I don't know.
but
And, like, I know that we talked about this, and I know it's, like, obviously, like I mean, I'm not writing any movies or anything. I know that you're, like, interested in some of that. But, like, at the beginning when we were talking to him and he was just saying, like, "Just do, like, just do." Like, I was like, "Wait, that's literally us in the podcast." So, like, we talked about it, talked about it, talked about it, and then all of a sudden, here we are. And look at what's happened. Like, we had our first guest. We
mhm.
learned so much. It went amazing. Like, this is just so cool. I'm
'Cause
so
like you were
stoked.
saying too, because like, I mean, you were nervous and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna hop on a phone call with him," just like I think even if we hadn't done that, it probably still would've been chill, have
Mhm.
like, this being our first meeting, but I think the fact that, like, I talked to him, I just got some, like, more background information. The fact that he listens and, like, watches us, so, like, it felt
Yeah.
like you 2 knew each other because um, it just felt like the banter was there, even I know you were kinda, like,
Yeah.
worried about that. But it's like you never know who's coming on, and so, like, I wasn't, like, too worried, especially after our conversation. After our conversation, I was like, "Guys, I had this con I spoke to, Kevin last night for, like, 20 minutes or something," and immediately after, I texted Courtney saying, like, "We literally have nothing to worry about, like, this dude is so chill, we are good."
And I wasn't necessarily like, I wasn't, like, worried about talking to him. It was just
Yeah.
more like, you never know. Again, we didn't know how this was gonna go.
It's like,
Like, it
w
happened
you've
so
never met him,
quickly.
so it's like you don't know.
Yeah, and it just happened so quickly, and it was like, this is, like, not my I don't know a lot about movies. Like, I was like, I don't even know how to go about this. But again, I just think it went better than I could have expected. And it was so fun, and
I
it was
know.
so cool. I don't know if you felt this way, but I just thought it was so cool that he was like, "Yeah, I came around like, around this video on TikTok, and you guys were doing this." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It was just crazy. So
Because he had said he liked our energy and he thought, like, we would appreciate a movie like this, and then there was
mhm.
something else he had said that I couldn't remember, I was gonna relay it back to you that I forgot, um, but I was like, "Oh, I really like that." But yeah but yeah, it just dude, that was so sick. I'm just, like,
10 out of
genuinely
10.
so happy with that.
Ah! Yeah,
Um,
but anyways, I'm just so excited for
s
everyone to listen to this episode,
I know. I'm
and
gonna try to get it out by Sunday, hopefully, is the hope.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
everyone let us know what you think, and maybe we'll start reaching out to people too, like,
well okay,
now
that
that
was
we
the
know
thought
we
I was
can do it.
having. Well, the thought I was having was like, okay, like, obviously, we did this and we did all this research, because I felt like we were prepared, which was nice.
Yeah,
But it was also like then I was thinking, it'd be so cool if we had someone because obviously you don't know a ton about movies, but, like, we had someone who maybe is in more of a space that you're interested in, like, someone who's been
reality
on, like,
TV.
someone who's been on a reality TV show. I'm like, that would be so cool to have.
Yeah,
And then we kinda just sprinkle in these, like, guest
yeah,
interviews and stuff like that, and it helps to have another person because, like, when you originally were like, "Oh, I don't know if I have power," I'm like, "Dude, like, I need you here."
I know. Well, and I wanted to be here, like, I was so
Yeah.
excited for it, so I'm just stoked about it. I want everyone that listens to let us know, like, should we have more guests?
Yeah, and,
I
like, do you wanna know
should.
more about 5683?
Yeah,
Like,
because,
it sounds like we
you
can
know
probably get some other people on.
yeah, what more would you wanna know? We can talk to Kevin more, we can, yeah, maybe talk to more people that he worked with.
One, I wanna just, like, have a conversation with Kevin just about movies outside of, like, 5683, like, not have a podcast about that, just like, the thing I did with, Tom, but just do it with
Mhm.
Kevin. I was like, "That would be so sick." Just talk about all
Yeah,
that.
like, his movie knowledge is crazy.
Oh, it's you can just tell it's so deep. The fact that he has over
Yeah,
3,000 physical copies is insane.
so cool.
Which I can't do because I have too many shoes, and that's a problem already. Um,
Shoes
but
moving.
then like, talking to Brittany would be amazing, or talking to Caitlin, and honestly, like, talking to Caitlin and, like, Adrian at the same sorry, Adrian, that's his character's name. Talking to Caitlin and Landon at the same time would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, honestly, just anyone. I just think it's like
yeah.
I said, doing this was super cool. We learned so much, and I think it'll be fun for people to listen to and learn
Yep,
as
yep.
well.
But yeah, guys, do you have anything else or
I don't think so. I need to go eat.
yeah.
I'm so glad I had some of those mini
Yeah. I was
buckets.
actually thinking, like, if she's eating during this interview, I'm gonna get pissed, and you
I
weren't.
didn't.
I
I
know.
did not. I told you, I said, "Let me eat this real quick, or else I'll be
Um,
hangry."
but yes, thank you guys again for tuning into another episode of Overshared, episode 33, with our special guest, Kevin Shepherd. Again, his movie 5683 is streaming on Amazon Prime, Fandango, Zuno Play, Tubi, and YouTube, so go check that out. I'll link it in the description below.
Go watch it, or
Go watch
else.
it or else.
And be
I'll also
nice, or else.
rate it on Letterboxd, like, be positive, you know. I'm gonna also link his website, DoJoLo Films, as well, so you can go then check out his other short films that he's done. And now my goal is to go watch like all his other work because I know he's now that he's done horror and he's worked with Caitlin as well.
Yeah,
And also like I might link his Instagram and everything, but I'll chat with him about that. But yeah, again, thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
good soup.
Peace.